You are watching the Counterculture Gaming Studio, a studio forged by military, law enforcement, first responders, and blue-collar workers, bringing you the best entertainment in the gaming industry. This is Counterculture.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. The Counterculture Gaming Studio is live, bringing you some of the best entertainment in the video game space, where we get to hang out, talk about video games, and then maybe in the second hour play some video games. But unfortunately, whenever we start out one of these podcasts, there's other people that have to pay the bills. So we're going to run through some of these wonderful ads and give you guys some promo codes to go buy some awesome merchandise. First up, we got Counterculture Inc. threads. I don't know if we have this up here, but I'll just run through it.
Yep.
Go to countercultureincthreads.com. Use promo code CCGAMING for 15% off. They have all your hats, tees, ranger panties, flags, all the stuff that you would want. Nope, not that one.
All right.
Sorry. Yeah. Lewis 2.0. Anyways, hats, flags, tees, ranger panties, all the things that you'd want from the Counterculture Inc. store. Like I said, use promo code CCGAMING for 15% at your checkout. We all love their products. We're all wearing something right now for it. So, and that ride or die shirt I've been wanting for a while, and it keeps being sold out.
Yeah,
so.
I love it. I got two of them, so I can make one a sleeveless.
Yeah, I gotta white trash it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I don't mind cutting the ones off that don't have the flags on the side, but I won't cut the ones with the flags.
That makes sense.
Oh,
yeah. Next up, CopvilleOG. Go to CopvilleOG.com. Use CCGAMING15 for 15% off CopvilleOG. He's got all types of things, hats, tees. He's even got like Zintons, patches, stickers, all the things that you would want from CopvilleOG. Hit up Michael's store. It's an awesome store. He like I said, the Zen cans. It's very, very unique. And if you are in our Patreon, he will actually work with you to make your own like special designed whatever you want, whether it be a hat, a t-shirt. So go join the Anti-Hero broadcast Patreon.
Yep.
Yeah. Come check us out on there. We have a great chat. The OG chat is absolutely insane. All right, I think we'll.
Oh,
wait.
well, you can't forget Justin.
Yeah, don't forget Justin.
Hold on.
Can't
Oh,
forget Donut
the
Shop.
I wasn't
nerd
gonna
of-
forget him. We've got two segments. But we can go ahead and do
since
Justin
here.
as well. Go to donutshoppodcast.com and check out Justin's store. All of your Donut Shop Podcast merchandise, coffee mugs, stickers, tees, hoodies. He's even got some pickleball. A pickleball set.
What's the
Or they're
difference
spanking
between,
paddles.
It
if you
literally says
wanna use them.
pickleball.
Paddles,
kit.
absolutely.
what's
Yeah.
the difference between pickleball and paddleball then?
Once
So
you-
paddleball.
So one of them, you eat pickles before you play
Hey, and what orifice?
it. Usually the nostril.
Wait, did you say what orifice? Is that what you just
Yeah.
said?
And also everyone in the chat, what's up? We got James in here, Pride. I see Tristan. Who else?
Ooh, I have to address
Nick
Tristan's
the gun
question.
guy. What's up, guys?
Jaws back with
Yeah.
the piggy porn.
No, to answer your question seriously though, Jay, the difference. Do you truly want to know the difference?
yeah.
Or the difference between like
Yeah.
you said pickleball and what else?
Paddleball.
Paddleball. So like paddleball, I think that would be more considered like table tennis, right? That's what I would.
No,
like if
isn't the difference the ball?
One of them's against the wall, isn't it?
that's called
This is
wall
top
ball.
this is top quality gaming content, right?
Well,
I
it's
mean,
a
those are
game.
games.
Yeah.
I love it.
Isn't
You
that
want
We
wall
never
Messi?
ball?
specified. We
wall?
never said it's not counterculture video gaming. It's counterculture
Counterculture
gaming. So
pickleball?
you know,
Yeah.
like
That's true.
get into
We could be
cornhole.
we could be hitting up we could be hitting up board games.
Yeah.
You guys want to
You
watch
never know?
Monopoly?
Little Candyland.
Oh, mate,
dude, Candyland, Shoots and Ladders.
Shoots
Always
and
a banker.
ladders.
Great game.
Yo, there is the online Catan game though. We could hit that up one
Catan.
day.
I played Catan probably
Catan
about
is
2
the
years ago.
shit.
It is so good.
Yeah. But then yeah, I know pickleball is basically paid on like a tennis court. and like,
with a low net and like a wiffle ball. Isn't it a wiffle ball and paddle ball?
dude, it's not a wiffle ball, dude. That thing actually has some like heft. Like
Oh,
if you
really?
hear
It's a
them hit
wiffle
it,
ball.
yeah.
That sounds pretty.
When I was on my cruise, they had like a pickleball tournament, and me and my like the guy who I was with, we watched a little bit of it, and I had never played it, so I was like, he was like, "Oh, I'll like tell you the rules," and we like talked about it, and I was like, "That actually sounds pretty fucking fun." So,
With a dude.
no, dude, pride. Cornhole will never die. That is like the backyard white trash game that every
Hacky sack.
played.
Hacky sacks.
What?
Is that hacky sack? What's cornhole?
No, you've never played cornhole?
No. Well,
I love
don't.
Well, I mean, it's with
It
sand
depends what you
stacks,
mean.
like-
So cornhole, you have these like two square boards that sit. Is it like 21 feet or 20
Oh, I
feet
don't
away
know
from
the
each other?
specifics.
There's like a regulation distance
Yeah.
that it actually has to sit.
Oh, there's pro teams now.
Yeah, dude, we could get a counterculture fucking cornhole team.
Yeah, that'd be so easy for us to practice.
Sounds
Absolutely.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I got a set of boards out on my porch.
We're gonna
guys.
research.
Yeah, I'll be over in-
Where
Look,
do we
that's the
research
thing. No.
cornhole?
So each of us get a separate camera and we go out and like we'll play teams, but like I'll throw my bag and then whoever's on my team will throw theirs. And like you just
we could go.
you know, you just gotta do it virtually, you know? But no, so I did want to address Tristan's question. He asked me a question sometime last week, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna type all this out because it's just a lot. He asked me why I got out of the Border Patrol. And to
couldn't
make
hack
a what? Did you say because I'm a faggot?
No.
I was like, bro, can we say that on here?
What you did?
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah,
said
but
it.
like I had to repeat it to ask him.
No, I said because you couldn't hack it.
You didn't repeat
Oh,
it.
yeah,
You're the one who
you're
said
right.
it.
Couldn't hack it. All right. Yeah, all right. Anyways, so the reason I got out though is because it was a combination of a lot of things that just built up. So I got into the Border Patrol knowing that the Border Patrol is on like the front line of fighting the war on drugs. And at the time I was very, very, very against drugs. Like no marijuana, nothing.
Loser.
So I actually have a photo. I have to bring up the photo of me like
What
actually
did you
getting
just
some.
say?
Huh?
You said no marijuana.
Yeah, like I used to be against it. Like people
yeah, I know.
using all types of drugs. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I joined the Border Patrol to like make a difference. And like in the 2 or 3 years that I was there, I didn't feel like I was making a difference, especially with what we were doing with illegals during COVID. We basically would catch them and then like take them back to our station, roll their fingerprints, make sure they weren't like had any active warrants or like were wanted for murder. If they didn't have any of that, we just kicked them back south, like drove them back down to the border and made them walk back across. That's all.
Gave
we
him
did.
$50. There you go.
Basically, the only
Yeah.
thing that we did is like we took all of their food, like all their
Hell
backpacks
yeah.
and food.
Yeah.
We took all of them, and they freaking knew. They knew the good stuff. Like
Yeah.
you knew that they had been caught before if you
have a
told them
granola
like,
bar.
hey, no. They would hand you like the stuff that you knew that you wanted, like all the Mexican Cokes, all the like unopened like Mexican Doritos. Like we took that shit and kept it, dude.
Handle,
I'm gonna throw a good Mexican Coke away. Come on.
Arriba.
Literally. But so I didn't feel like I was making a difference. We were living in the town of Ajo, which is like 40 miles from the border. It's a one stoplight town. The closest Walmart to anywhere is an hour and a half away. So anytime that we would go to buy food, like we'd have to drive an hour and a half. You wanted to go to see the movies or go to movies, hour and a half. Like it sucked. So that it was like that. And then like I always wanted to do like medicine and like the nursing thing. So I was like, all right, I'll give, like I'll take this leap of faith. My wife got a job like back home where we live now. And she went back, started her job. I stayed like a month to like clean up the house and like essentially exit the Border Patrol. So that's why he asked me that question. I just wanted to answer it, and then I couldn't type all that because it only gives you so many characters in the comments. So I wasn't gonna slam the chat with that.
Well, we're glad you're immersed now.
Thank you. Hopefully to be is it
Doctor.
called a doctor, like a male
Yeah.
doctor eventually? You know,
Well,
is, that,
no.
is that what they call
I
them?
mean,
Or
if you
is that
ask
not a
some
thing?
people, there
No,
shouldn't be
that's
female
they
doctors.
just call that a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's
Yeah.
more manly. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're all about this 30 by 30s bullshit. Females shouldn't be cops. I mean, there's jobs that men shouldn't do either.
And nursing is one of them. I didn't fucking know, man.
Hey,
Shit.
hey, women make better nurses, dude.
That's not necessarily true.
If you're talking
that is not
practically or
necessarily
just
true.
making you feel better, because half the time, like I feel like nurses, like I don't know, I want to be comforted by a nurse, and I'd rather have a female nurse.
You don't want me coming
Don't
in your
judge.
room
We don't
and sticking a catheter in your
We
penis.
can't assume. these
First
days.
off, you come
You
in
don't
my
want me
room.
You don't want me
If you came in my
grasping your
room, I'd have
shaft and
to
shoving
lower
a catheter down in
I'd
there.
have to lower the bed down just to be eye level with you.
I'd have to lower the bed. Shut the fuck up.
and you'd have to be really close.
I wouldn't.
It is very true.
Hey,
though.
Somebody
I'd be
made the
lowering the
comment.
bed. I'd be lowering the
somebody
bed
made the-
down.
Somebody made the comment earlier in the week. Foo doesn't need an X-ray machine to take any X-rays.
I don't. I
Yeah,
don't,
X-ray
brother.
technician.
I know. You're like,
Just
I
focus.
feel impacted. I can see it. Yep. Time for some digital de-impaction. I'm just kidding. I've never done that. Never
I
done
don't believe you.
Tristan, bring that comment up.
If you come to my hospital and you are in my unit, I don't think you're going anywhere anytime soon. Because that means you just had heart surgery. Oh boy, do we have something for you.
Talk about heart related stuff. So I had that burn today, and dude, I almost got flagged before the first burn because my blood pressure was high. Because I had an energy drink on the way in, and I was stressed out because school was like an hour and a half away, and I had to get there early. And I get there, and they're like, "All right, we're taking vitals now," and I'm like, "Dude!" And of course, like I have like a lip in, I have like nicotines in my system, I have caffeine, I'm stressed out, and they're like, I don't like these numbers right now. You have to sit down for another 10 minutes, drink some water, piss whatever's in your system out. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude, the day didn't even start yet.
They almost didn't do my shot Monday for my spine because of my blood pressure.
Oh, really?
She's like, wait, your blood pressure's high. Hold on, let's redo this. And she's like, let me hold it up. She's like, something was off, and then it was normal.
Yeah,
was
same.
like-
She was like, let me use a different cuff. And like she used a different cuff, and it was a completely different reading. And I was like, okay, that was clearly the problem.
Using too big or too small of a cuff will change your blood pressure. It's crazy. Trust me. Anytime we take blood pressure as like nurses or anything, we're like, and you get something odd reading, you're like,
yeah, dude, my first
let me
reading
switch
was, like,
arms. Let's see what happens when we switch the arm.
I forget what the lower number was, but my first reading, I was in the 150s, and I was like, that's not right, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's like bad.
Yeah, I mean, 150 is getting crazy. What the fuck, dude? I think one of my dogs just tried to get in that door.
I thought I heard a chirp.
Oh, watch out behind you.
Yeah. You're like,
Oh, freaking what's his name? That one time we were in that meeting, I was like, okay, it's my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
All you could see
weird.
was a face. Just her
You
face. Like, that was it.
What are you talking about?
When she was sitting back there and you had your
Oh, yeah.
background deleted.
That was wild. Yep. Yeah. I decided to never do that again until I get a real green screen.
Dude. So you guys, something I didn't realize about monster trucks. So we took my kids to the monster truck monster jam today.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that was like competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They get like points for doing
yeah.
crazy stuff. Yeah.
I just thought it was like the circus.
Demonstration, have fun.
Yeah, go watch monster trucks do cool stuff. No, it's a competition.
Was it indoor? Was it in like an arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It wasn't
they
that
do
big
one
either.
at the Jersey Shore that I used to go to all the time. And they did the monster trucks on the sand on the beach, and they built all the jumps and the obstacles. And then they also did motorcycle racing.
Yeah, they had
on the beach.
some motorcycles. They didn't race. They did like a best trick competition.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but the arena wasn't very big, so they were kind of limited with a whole lot of stuff they could do. It was still really cool. And I don't know if Weston Anderson, who drives Gravedigger for the
Gravedigger's
Central,
always been hell.
dude,
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever see this, but I want to thank that man because he made my son's day. Because at the end of the show, like, he stood up and they're like, both my boys were wearing Gravedigger t-shirts, and he stood up and was like waving at him real big, and like Weston seen him and like pointed at him and then like tapped his shirt, like, because he's wearing the Gravedigger shirt, And dude, my kid like lost it. Like he was like, that was the coolest freaking thing.
Everyone,
He's 8 years
everyone
old, dude.
send it and tag Gravedigger.
Yeah,
dude,
I was gonna say
that was
we'll
that was
tag him.
amazing. Like he loved that.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
it's
I didn't know
awesome.
it was a competitive thing. I thought it was just like a demonstration. Like, oh, watch these.
Oh,
big
dude, we're in
trucks
America.
do-
Everything's competitive.
Oh yeah, I should have known.
Yeah,
but
that's so true. Carmelo, I'm about to ask you what you know about A-lines. I saw that comment in there. All right, so story time for the Border Patrol, and then we will get into. We actually have a guest coming on today.
do your
So you
Border
guys
Patrol
get to have
story.
another nerd.
And it's not Dylan's alternative personality this time.
Do your Border Patrol
I
story.
see you, history.
My
Okay.
alternative person.
And then I've got a Texas Roadhouse story. So
Oh God.
Oh, those
do
always
yours.
sound good. That's like
All right,
Cracker
yeah,
Barrel
I'll try to
story.
keep that-
What's a Texas Roadhouse type story? You have to explain it to the Brit. So
Well,
what
it's
type of
a
story is that?
restaurant. It's just Texas Roadhouse is a restaurant.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
a
chain.
steakhouse.
It's a chain restaurant steakhouse. Yeah, that's all over. There's like a million of them everywhere.
No worries. And is it like a ghetto?
It'd be like
type thing?
it'd be
No.
like Nando's.
Okay.
Like,
I don't
it'd be
know.
like the equivalent
I
of like a
assume.
Nando's. A
Okay,
Nando's.
It's like, do you
Nando's,
know what
yes.
an Olive Garden is?
Like
Like,
in
does that ring a
food.
bell? Like,
Olive Garden.
I know Nando's.
yeah,
I've
it's like
been
the
there.
Nando's. Nando's is the
steakhouses.
best. Go and
of
have a
Olive
cheeky
Garden.
Nando's.
All right. So Border Patrol time. So we're back in the academy. We are, I don't know, 3 months in, something like that. We're doing our like search incident to arrest type thing. And for you to like be checked off on this like skill, you like line up in the hallway and then like you go in one by one. And all of our use of force, searching, all that good stuff, all of our different I guess you could say non-lethal weapons are taught by our PT instructors. And basically our PT instructors are just tricked out buff comedians that work for the Border Patrol because they're fucking hilarious. And I think they do an amazing job of like being hard on you, but then understanding when there's time to kind of smoke and joke at the right times. So we're standing in this line. Shut up. We're standing in this line waiting to go into this room to do this like search procedure. And when you're on the like academy grounds, when you're walking or running by an instructor, good evening, Joe. You came just in time. Anytime you're walking by an instructor, you're supposed to say like, a greeting, like good morning, how you doing, sir, whatever. So we're standing in this line and there's this other class that is running to get outside because they're cadre were like, hey, we're going for a run or whatever. But for whatever reason, they were running almost like one by one. Like it was like as they finished changing, they just ran out. So each person is like running by going, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. And by like the third or like the fourth or fifth time, the instructor, his name was De Leon, he was like, what the fuck is so good about the morning? And this kid that he stopped and screamed at, dude, I've never seen a dude's fucking like my eyes are fucking huge in these glasses. I'm sure that dude's eyes were way bigger because he was fucking stunned. He had no idea what to do. And he was like, get on, go. It was fucking hilarious. And all of us were standing in that line just like. And then he was like, what are you guys laughing at? And we're like, nothing. Nothing, De Leon. Nothing.
Dude, sometimes I feel that though. Like sometimes when you're having those mornings, it's like someone's like, good morning. It's like, oh, what's so good about this morning, huh?
Yeah, but him
I get
screaming it at that kid.
Yeah. it's
Especially
funny.
after he saw 5 of his classmates be like, good morning, sir. All right. They tried to shoot Trump this morning.
What did they?
Who did? Who did?
I don't know. John, what you got going on, bro?
Yeah, Trump
Fill
rushed
us
from
up.
the White House 2 minutes ago. So Trump rushed from the White House
Listening to
Correspondents'
Food Tell JROTC
Oh, well, bring it up, yeah.
stories.
after suspect gunshots heard. Yeah.
While he's
Can't-
typing that up, because I know he's gonna
Can't bloody, I can't speak.
go with your Texas Roadhouse story, because now
Dude.
I'm interested.
So we go to Texas Roadhouse after
Get that.
I was like, Daddy needs a steak, medium rare, some
Daddy
French
needs a
fries,
steak.
side of ribs.
Do you talk to your wife like that?
Yeah,
And she's turned on by that?
Just simple, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Anyway, God, who doesn't? So
Yeah, you're right.
we
I'd be saying some wild shit to my wife.
So they said us.
I would never say another human being ever.
I hope so.
They set us in like the aisle, not in the aisle, but in a booth next to the aisle where they're constantly walking by, and we heard the hostess walking people by. We heard her ask how many, she asked every freaking person she walked to a table how long it had been since they'd been to a Texas Roadhouse. We probably heard her ask that 25 freaking times, to the point where I was almost going to start telling her, like, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago. Like, but the point of the story is, so, like, have you guys, Jay's not ate there, but you guys have ate at Texas Roadhouse, right?
Yeah.
They've got some pretty good steak fries,
Mm-hmm.
and there's really good seasoning on them. And I had a 6-ounce sirloin.
Six?
And
Pussy.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I
sit
had
down.
a
Did you get a kids
6
meal?
ounces, you
Did
fucking
you get a kids meal?
kid's meal.
Can I finish the rest of what I ate?
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Got a 6-ounce sirloin, double order of fries, and a half rack of ribs on top of the pretzel I had at the monster truck. So I'm going through this, finish off the steak, finish off the ribs. I'm enjoying these freaking fries. Like, oh, dude, they're amazing. My kid's got to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. It's a really packed restaurant. He's a squirrel. His mind goes elsewhere.
Don't tell me they took your food away, because that would really. I know.
I take him to the bathroom, dude. I'm not done with these fries. As a matter of fact, I can specifically remember one I was fucking eyeing and saving it for the last because it
crispy
had
one. The nice crispy one?
No, I'm not a big crispy fry guy. I like about center, like
chips. You mean
a little bit
not
of
fries? Chips.
No, I mean fries. A little bit of soft, but a little bit of crispy. But this motherfucker had so much seasoning on it, dude.
Oh.
I was looking at it and I was just like,
I'll have you.
I was ready to just give it, all it had. So I take my kid to the bathroom. Dude, while I'm in the bathroom, when my kid's in the bathroom, I'm thinking about these fucking fries. Like, I'm like, dude, I can't wait to get back to these. Like,
he's like,
like
fucking hurry up. I am
Dude.
so hungry.
Dude, it was like Fumasa at a fucking wedding cake factory. Like, I'm fucking excited, Like, dude.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I'm fucking ready.
Oh, my goodness.
My kid gets done using the bathroom, then he comes out and he stops. He goes, Dad, I gotta poop. I'm like,
Oh.
why didn't you
Always
do that?
the way.
It's
It
like, why
always
didn't you
happens,
do?
man.
I was like, why didn't you do that while you were just in there? Like, go back. So I'm sitting there waiting for some more. I can't thinking about these fucking fries, dude. I'm like, man, these are gonna be so good. Can't wait. I still had ketchup left. Like, oh.
Ew.
So we make our way back to the table, and there's 2 to-go boxes sitting there. So I'm like, maybe my food's in one of those boxes, I mean, I had just bones and fries on there, but like maybe my fries are in there. I'm like, where's my food? My wife's like, I guess she took it. I was like, I wasn't fucking done. Like, dude, I'm sitting there like, I'm telling you, I had a specific fry picked out. Well,
Daddy needs his fry.
I'll
Yeah,
leave a 1-star Google review on that.
I'm
bitch.
sitting there. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's my fucking fries at?
And then they're like, "Oh, I thought you were done," and you're like, "Well,
And my poor
obviously
wife,
not.
like,
No.
she's trying to wrangle our freaking 3-year-old because he's just been on a fucking tantrum today. Like, wouldn't sit down during the monster truck rally, wouldn't keep his headphones on, just ready, just pumped up. He's just so excited because of the monster trucks. It's what I'm gonna just chuck it up to. But she's busy with him, so dude, the chick just comes by, swipes my food. Like, dude, and it's not like I had like a couple of fries left on there that would have been like, oh, he might be done. No, I still had a healthy amount of fries left, and the monster fry. And dude, that's getting
Oh.
no.
I thought he really meant. I thought he was trying to say because you don't do shit.
No,
She's
Mrs.
handling
Toad's
everything,
version.
and you're just.
I had the other kid. I mean, we had 2 kids, 2 parents. We split the kids. I took one to the bathroom. She was with the other one.
I bet
Anyway.
she was
The
like,
older
bitch,
one,
I've
the
got
more
another
mature
child.
one.
Look after your own fucking fries."
Yeah, I took the one that's old enough to know the
Yeah.
difference between a boy and a girl and why boys go to the boys' bathroom.
I would have
Had to
slapped
teach that
waitress.
lesson.
I would have just been, bitch.
Anyway.
give me the fucking fries.
So yeah, dude. she swiped my fries. Like I still tipped her. Like she didn't know. She probably thought I was done, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like,
dude, there
I
was
tipped her
still
50 cents less.
there was still a healthy amount of freaking fries.
See, I
left
feel
there,
like
dude.
unless there's like a dirty napkin on the plate, like I feel like that's
Yeah,
the time.
you have to
Like when you're
show,
finished, yeah, like dirty
Yeah.
napkin on the plate. Like maybe you clean up a little bit, you put your utensils on there, and you move the plate over. Like
I had like,
just because I have bones on it doesn't mean it's trash.
dude, tell me.
Yeah,
about
what
it.
if I'm saving those for my dog?
What if I was saving those for me?
Yeah, just suck.
We
off
see
the
these
bones,
chompers,
dude.
dude. I like
you just
to
eat the
chomp some
bones?
bones, dude. Look at these things.
Yeah.
Dude, now that you
Gnaw
mentioned
through 'em
those
like a
ribs
goat.
sound good.
Dude, they weren't the best ribs. They're good ribs. They weren't the best. I liked them. The steak was good, medium
You
rare.
liked your
They
chips,
got
though,
it.
wouldn't you? Or your fries. You would have
My
liked them
fries.
better.
Oh, dude, they were amazing. I'm a
Dude,
fry guy.
we went
dude.
out to lunch after the burn today, and the group of us spent $400 at this Italian place, like on like a bunch of pizzas to share. Like, dude, because it was like one of those like real Italian places where like the Italian hoagie is like fresh bread and like the actual Italian meats and like all that stuff, dude. It was fantastic.
Joe,
We haven't
I'd have Miss Chode get on here and give her version, but the last time she got on the mic, you got a little hot. You had to step away for a second.
When was wait, what? When was she on the mic? Where
It
was
was-
I?
You were probably doing male nurse stuff, like touching wieners.
Putting catheters
You know,
in with a
I don't-
smile.
The only thing that I don't
With a
like
wink and a
about
smile.
that statement is that I can't say anything about it because I literally had to put in a fucking Foley calf my last like Friday. Like the last 30 minutes of my shift, I go in there and this dude's like, I need to pee. And he was like, but I can't pee. And I was like, are you fucking serious?
Whip it out, bud.
And,
Yeah, dude,
no,
like,
and then I went
I
and I
can't
got a
pee.
fucking bladder scanner and I fucking bladder scanned the shit out of him and he had like 600 milliliters in his bladder. I was like, bruh. So then I had to go get the fucking
So what,
Foley.
you've got,
and
do
fucking,
you know how they steal petrol?
Right,
Fuel?
there was a
You've got
lot of
hose
us.
in.
And we were
You've
having
got-
drinks.
You've got to suck the fuel out.
Food's like, drop them. I'll get that out.
I fucking hate you.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right.
like a crackhead siphoning gasoline.
That's what I said. That's what I was trying to. That's siphoning. I was trying to think of the word siphoning, and I've got. Like, he brings his hose out. He gets his little
I'm
catheter
fucking
out.
dead.
And he's like,
Get the fuck
put it
out of here,
into
siphoning. No, that. No. Oh, no. You see that fucking face? That is going to be the. I'm fucking just. Oh, I'm going to. I'm plastering that all over the fucking. Oh, shit, bro. All right. We have our guest here. You've seen him in the chats. His name is Carmelo, not Caramel OP. It is Carmelo. We're gonna bring him in. We're gonna talk to him about who he is, how he got into gaming, what he does.
Okay,
I
buddy, sorry.
Couldn't help myself. I saw
Damn.
that and I could not read it.
Damn,
He does it while he's staring at you as well. He's like
It's,
this.
it's such a it's
dead
too
in
good
the
of a mental
eyes,
picture.
stare
Just
at you
looks
in
right
the
at you.
eyes.
Has to take
Dude.
glasses off first.
Sometimes you got to though. Sometimes you just gotta like be like, all right, balloons down, ready?
All right. Well, it also sounds like Carmelo and you have a little bit of similar experience with some of
Yeah,
that stuff. Maybe.
we're about to see. All right, we're gonna bring Carmelo on.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, look at this!
What's up, man?
Hello, everyone. My name's
How's it going,
Carmelo,
man?
and I'm pretty OP. Nice to actually finally be here. Yeah, that's where the name comes from. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
So
go
okay,
ahead.
hold on. So Carmelo. So is Carmelo like I almost said it's
So like
Carmelo, your name.
I had to do like a rebranding. I've seen gamer tags. Like I had a buddy named WXY Zach, Tyler, and all. Then you look at like Markiplier, and I was like, oh, Carmelo P makes sense. My name's Carmelo. My last name starts with P. Kind of
Carmelo
works
P.
out. Yeah.
You should have been Carmelo Lamina B.
Nah, nah, too much.
Okay.
Oh,
What
shit.
the?
But yeah, I did 5 years in the Army. I was a 68
sweet.
Charlie,
Oh,
licensed practical nurse. I worked in the ICU of Blanchfield Army Community
Food's back.
Hospital
Oh,
at Fort Campbell,
boy.
Kentucky, and then got out, and then now I'm doing this.
Well, we have
Oh, that's
another
awesome,
male
man.
nurse
Yeah,
on,
you
on
fit
the
in
program.
All right, with all
us?
these,
I'm in love.
Yeah.
Should we all
Yeah,
leave?
my glasses aren't as thick though, so you know.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't have the X-ray vision.
'cause
Version. He has to
them-
take his patients.
Them shits are like fucking Professor Farnsworth from Futurama, bro.
Hold on. How am I gonna get smoked on my own show? What the fuck? Dude, so wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about that. So you are an LPN in the Army.
Correct.
What did you get your LPN like before you went into the Army, or did you?
No. So in the Army, back in like mid 2000s, 68 Whiskey was a combat medic.
Yeah.
And then you would get an additional skill identifier. It was 68 Whiskey Mike 6, and that was pretty much your practical nurse. And eventually they said, hey, not enough people are making it through this program, so we're going to make 68 Charlies, which were their own MOS. Therefore, you wouldn't have to be a Whiskey beforehand. You can just join the Army. They will give you a LPN licensure, and you can work as a nurse. Yeah, I was Sam Houston for 2 months, then Walter Reed National Military Medical Center for 10 months, and that was it. Yeah.
Oh, wow,
How
man.
much do I hate Third Brigade? I fucking hate those goddamn motherfuckers.
What is
Be
Third
my
Brigade?
IC. It's Third Brigade is so like at Fort Campbell. There's the 101st Airborne Division. You have 1st, 2nd, 3rd Brigade. Just groups of just dudes. Your Army dudes.
Yep.
Anyway, like 3rd Brigade, they'd always come in for like alcohol detox or alcohol poisoning. It was one of the two. And I had this one motherfucker who all he did. I don't know what his thing was, but every time he'd go through DTs, delirium tremens, he would just shit himself all the time.
Oh no!
It was
Nice.
that was just his thing. I don't know why. So yeah,
Like,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
yeah, it was just his thing, man.
So-
oh, go on. I was going to say, just tell me a bit about the games that you play. What do you stream? Yeah.
All of them, pretty much. For those of you in the chat who don't know, I do video game reviews. It's something I'm pretty passionate about, simply because modern day games don't. So we're spoiled. Our generation, I'm assuming everyone in here is a millennial. Our generation is spoiled because we grew up with the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360. And one thing all those games were doing at that time was they were getting better and better and fucking better. And then now, more or less, games are kind of not pushing the standard up higher as they should be. Everything's always comparable to the game that came out before it. We have Overwatch, we have Fortnite, we have so many Battle Royale games. Now we have extraction shooters. It's more or less, I'm tired of playing games and tired of like looking at games and gaming as a whole being centered around this multiplayer focus and the direction we're going in, because a lot of it's live service stuff. You get a single player title every now and then that really blows you away. And then young gamers today, they're not thinking about those indie titles or those AA titles that are memorable and they can stand out and you can appreciate them for what they are. So that's
So
why I
you
do
are
video
a
game
single
reviews.
player gamer, like you call yourself.
I do
or-
have a guilty pleasure. I like to get on a game called Heroes of the Storm by Blizzard.
Okay. Yep.
All I do is I get on there, harass people. That's all I do. Only because I'm good. If I was bad, I'd probably be even worse.
Yeah, one of those get good moments. It's like, can't be mad at me.
Oh no,
Nice
not
to
even.
Check.
Yeah.
Not even. It's never my fault. So yeah.
I was going to say, do you not think that the reason why they don't go with single player games is because it's more risk? Obviously, if it's a live service, you're going to have DLCs, battle passes. So why would they take the risk of making a single player game when they can just milk the gaming?
You're absolutely right. It's. I think about this all the time. We are in. I'm not going to say a terrible time in gaming. I'm not going to say a good time in gaming. We are in a weird time in gaming. If you have a single player project that releases and it does poorly, guess what? People get laid off, as they should. You release a single player project, it does amazing. It might even win Game of the Year.
Yeah, people still get laid off. Yeah,
People still get laid
Yeah.
off. So like, where's the benefit at? That's really my main question. That's why I try to find like either indie titles or something slightly older or something that I think has a unique mechanic that I can show off.
And has
And then maybe-
character.
Has character, has good story writing. By the way, I do review like shit games. Like, it's part of the job. There's trash out there too that you have to sift through. And I try to show that off, and I try to give reasons as to why things aren't good. And it's so hard with this new generation of kids, essentially, because they grew up on Overwatch. They grew up on Fortnite. They grew up on battle passes. They grew up on whatever. And they don't understand that like single player experiences are good and they're out there, but whatever shit's coming out nowadays is not good.
Yeah, well,
And
we
like
talk
I
about
get
that all the
harassed in
time.
comments all the time.
Yeah, like
So-
what happened to a finished game? You know, a game that has a clear start and a clear end and a clear progression. I'd like to get.
Well, they
back
sell
to some
early
of those
accesses now,
linear
so
games.
you
Like
don't know.
sometimes the open world isn't always my jam. Sometimes I like a linear game to run through. I know where I'm going. There's not exploration. There may be. I go back to some of the Tomb Raider games. I think they did those great because you have a little bit of exploration. There's the puzzles in it. There's the combat. There's the climbing and swinging and all that stuff. And it's a fun game to play. The storylines were always good. And I think they made enough of those and it was done. And like they ran their course and I thought those were great, but there's no finished games anymore.
Well, here's a question for you now. Now that I'm seeing this a lot in especially Steam forums and such, and it kind of goes to what I was talking about earlier. Now, because we have this new generation of gamers, I hate the term gamers, but it's such an easy term. We have a young generation of those people. And now all the content that comes out, they expect a roadmap with it. They expect a season pass. They expect DLC. Back when we were growing up, you paid $50-$60. That was it.
Yep.
You know?
True.
And so
Or you
people,
go buy the guidebook at GameStop and
But
flip
I do-
through it. For...
I do think that's a problem with kind of attention span in general. Like with all of the TikTok generation that we have, we've got like 4 or 5 seconds where they've got to like
Oh, I have a whole
grab-
thing
grab-
about that too.
grab your attention. So
Yeah.
so like I think that I mean it's normal that the way if society changes, then gaming and everything will go along with it.
I think like you and I could go into a discussion about TikTok. I think that's a result of people just getting smarter, and because things are so repeated that they know where it's going.
Well,
You
think
know,
about it. Like we had to get any information about anything 20 years ago, we had to either go to a library, go to watch it on television. Now we have everything in our hand. So of course, everything that we know will need to change because we've got a large amount of knowledge in our fingertips. So the way that we assimilate information, because there's so much more of it now.
Yeah, we don't memorize anymore. But also at the same time, because movies, TV, like look at Star Wars, look at any show that's come out in the past 5 years, you know where it's going. It's not an attention span issue. You just don't want to watch it, or it's not interesting enough. Watch like Lord of the Rings, like the 4-hour versions of that. I've already seen the movies. I still love it. It's not even a nostalgia thing. There's just good films.
They're just good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And everyone wants to fight you on if that's a good film or not. I'm like, just watch it. Like I can't do 3 hours.
What you were
So, like,
saying, Dylan, about live service and everything, but I mean, people they are still bringing out games like Dragon Age: The Veilguard. That was absolutely shocking, and I love Dragon Age. I love Dragon Age Origins, Inquisition.
I mean, that was game of the year. I thought that was awesome. Like
It
that
was
was
good.
such a good game.
Like they haven't missed with a Dragon Age game, really. I mean, some of them are a bit crap, but like Dragon Age: The Veilguard, like I bought it and I've not been like fucking angry about buying a game in a long time. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Like it was so shit. And they got out of it was essentially a side scroller, like an Unreal Engine side scroller. And I was fucking angry about that.
And Chode, you had a question too?
yeah,
Sorry,
before we get too you're good. Before we get too off top or get down the rabbit hole too far, and I forget what the question
Oh, the
was.
cornhole.
Yeah, the cornhole. With kind of stick a little bit on topic about our part 2 with Windrose tonight. One, have you played any of it? And
Yeah, go
actually,
ahead, sorry.
let me do one because one's kind of pertinent on 2.
Okay.
Have you played any Windrose?
A little bit.
Okay, so with what you have played, what are your thoughts on Windrose as far as like the multiplayer and the because to me it's kind of a structured single player game with your buddies, if that makes sense. Because it's got the multiplayer, but it's not got the multiplayer in the sense that you were talking about with the the battle royales and like the the PvP aspect of it. It's a PvE multiplayer that's very easily a single player game as well.
Yeah. It could, some people have probably already called it friend slop. I guess that's where that question was kind of going. I haven't played enough of it to really assess that. It was a good single player game, which I'm playing a little bit. Survival crafters are not my jam in any way.
Yeah.
I'm giving this one an honest shot.
I mean, Valheim wasn't as well. Like I played Valheim for a little bit and I got bored, but this is actually quite fun. And I think it's more fun when you have people to play with.
So that's one thing I'm also noticing. Not with we can call friend slop or whatever, but it's like a lot of times when I see these friend slop games, I have to ask: is the game good without friends? Is Helldivers 2 good without your buddies?
Why is that a question? Why is that a question? Is it because if you're enjoying yourself with your friends, it doesn't matter if it's
you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. If you're having fun with your friends, it's no different than playing Halo 3 co-op in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But I think there's
we all looked at it and we all like, yeah, that was a good time, and we don't have them.
I think
sorry.
But the thing is like Halo, let's see, Halo 3 back in the day. Trying to think of whatever other co-op games there were back then.
Call of Duty.
I think it's kind of hard to separate those because, again, that was like the golden age. The 7th gen consoles were the golden age of gaming.
Yes,
nothing will ever topple that.
I like the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 was amazing.
But so it's kind of hard to say. But friend slop definitely is a topic because people are calling out developers who are explicitly stating that, oh, hey, this is making money. Let's make more of these games. The Peak Devs, Landfall Studios, it was Crabfall. There are 2 studios combined into one to make that game. They stated that on their Twitter, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's a fun game, but like, is your heart in it for the right reason? And that's where the question comes in. Are game developers making games to make money, or are they making it because they really believe in the project? And I will tell you that I've seen plenty of like solo dev games on Steam that get taken down like after a year or so. And they're obviously like, oh, this is a bullet point on my resume for when I apply to a big studio. I can say I sold X amount of units on Steam in my solo dev game, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of indie slop. So that's a tough question. You can't really tell what's genuine and what's not.
And finished and unfinished as well.
People don't take the time anymore because there's so many big titles out that are also free, which, I mean, the CEO of Xbox just changed that because now she's not making Call of Duty free on Game Pass anymore. But when you have that access to the big games that all of your friends play, everything else gets pushed to the side. I don't mind playing shitty games. I like downloading. That's something that like pops up as an ad on my Steam or something like, oh, try this. Dude, if I have space, I'll download it. I'll play it for an hour. If it sucks, whatever. It's an hour of my time. Like, I don't care. I also may love it. Like, that's how I found that game. What were we talking about? Was it Sifu? That hand-to-hand combat game? Yeah. That's how I found that game. My buddy got me into that. That's a game I never would have downloaded in a million years. But that game was incredible. I mean, just the concept of aging every time you die and then your attributes changing on it and your speed and it was such a beautifully made game. The artwork was cool. Going back to character, that game had fucking character.
Now here's a question: what devs have taken that into account, the whole aging system, because it's a fucking cool system. Imagine like a legit fantasy RPG with that. What could you do with that? That would be wild. And then, but again, they're focused more on multiplayer, and that's why I hate multiplayer.
Also, that game was, I don't quote me on this, but what was that game? Maybe 8 to 10 hours. I mean,
Something
if
like
you
that.
ran through, it was a very short game, but it was very hard. And then, like, I think when it came out, I don't think it had difficulty levels, did it, when it came out? Or did they add that? Because I couldn't remember. I remember my buddy got really into it and did a speed run in like a couple hours with no hits, and I was like, bro, you're a maniac. But yeah, dude, such an interesting game. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go back to a point that you made, that you said that when you see an ad, you'll download and play it for an hour. But like, I don't have time like for that. Like, I don't have time to sit down and look at a game and find. So I would have to ask someone like you. So
But like that's the thing. It's like you could say that, but like I mean, if you're gonna hop on Windows, half the time we're all in the Discord.
Yeah.
Like I'll hop in the Discord, talk with you guys anyway. I just won't play the game, and I'll play. Like what did I was thinking about doing. Oh, the Legend of Ymir. It's a RPG. Looks kind of shitty, but kind of cool. You know, like I kind of like the RPG games. I was like, try that out for an hour. Like, and I was like, oh, the combat's kind of cool. I kind of like the characters. It's not a great game by any means, but it's free, and I like it. And like, Where Winds Meet, that was another one that I got on my phone, and I was like, this is actually really cool game for my phone. And then when I got the PC, I was like, oh, it has PC. You could transfer your phone data and your character to your PC so you can continue your story. It gives you an option in the beginning, whether you want to play solo play or you want to play a multiplayer MMORPG. And it gives you those options. I was like, wow, this game is also kind of doing it right too. But I'm just not the biggest fan of like the Asian RPGs, but I'll try them. But it's not really my jam. I'd play it a lot more because I think the game mechanics and everything in it are actually really good.
And I think, like as I was saying before, like I don't have time, but I've played so many more games over the last month than I have in the last 2 years, and I've had much more fun doing it. So
yeah, and everybody's different. You know, I just my biggest concern right now at least is you know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a game designer. You know, that didn't fucking happen. So we have a generation of people who grow up believing like, oh, games are multiplayer, games are friend swap, you know, games are this or that. And it's a shame too, because there's so many older single player titles that are definitely worth everyone's time. And it definitely opens the horizons of what genres they can make as well. You know, how many people in here have played an immersive sim? How many people in here know that genre?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you could pick a single player game or like series, if it's a series to play from like an older generation, what would you pick?
It's in between Deus Ex. Let's see here. Let me look at my top favorite list on Steam, because I do have that list. Honestly, it might be Deus Ex. Yeah, the Deus Ex series. Simply because it teaches many lessons. But if you want to play the first game, that's the way to do it. That's how you do world building. That's how you do emergent gameplay. That's how you do character development. It looks rough as shit. They were going to do a remaster and release it, but they canceled it, I guess, because everybody, you know, shit on it pretty much. Gave it the Sonic movie treatment.
Hey, first off, Sonic deserved that.
Yeah, it did. It fucking did. It fucking did.
That
It
was
awful.
trash, dude.
But I think that's a game everybody should play because it teaches lessons on world building. If you set a game in reality, how far can you push that reality before it becomes like just stupid and silly? It's a great lesson in writing, great lesson in sound design. Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and it also shows like, hey, like I played it for the first time last year ever, and it's either my number one or number two.
Oh wow!
Okay. I haven't listed that. I haven't made that list yet, but like, holy shit, it's like a true RPG. I'll give you an example, right?
Oh, what game is that? Sorry, say again.
A Deus Ex.
Oh, Deus. Yeah, of course.
So here's an example of how like good of an RPG it is, and like I didn't even think of it this way. In the game, you have skill. You have two essentially skill trees. You have the cybernetic part of your character and the human part of your character. Within the human part of your character, you can level up your sniping skill. Now, I don't know about all you guys. I'm okay with a sniper rifle, depending on what game I'm playing. But Deus Ex takes the role-playing aspect of it and says, hey, if your skill is too low, your aim is shit, you can't zero in on your target, and your breath control is awful. But if you max that skill out, it's pretty much a point and click. That's one little RPG thing I really enjoy about that game. I never thought about it. And so why aren't modern devs trying something out like that? You know,
Well,
They
and that-
simplify
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what
simplified
we
it.
talked about because it's like there's the people who like to like grinding used to mean something. We talk about RuneScape
Yep.
all the time. It's
Yep.
like that is just time in a game. Like when you have that cape, you have that rune armor, like whatever it is, like that's just time in a game. People just want a fast pass now, which is why the battle passes work. And I can't always disagree with it because
No.
I don't have the time to play games like I used to anyway. So there's some games where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna spend the $5 or $10 to be up with everyone else and have the cool stuff so I can enjoy the game that I want to enjoy the game.
Mhm.
And then there's other games where I'm like, fuck you for buying that. I grinded my ass off for this
Yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
Like, because it used to be a thing where it was like, you
It's
see
a-
someone with cool armor, you know they put time into the game.
It's
Well,
a very
Played
big
it
thing
the
in
same.
World of Warcraft.
I was
World
about
of
to ask
Warcraft,
you, Jay, like,
yeah.
what do you think about? How long have you played WoW?
About 15 years.
So,
About
like,
15.
what is that? Wrath, Burning Crusade.
Rough, yeah. So just at the end of TBC.
So
and then,
like, how do you as a WoW player? Because like, I'm
Mm.
just vaguely aware of like, how do you feel about that? Like, I remember grinding like a fucking mount for PvP, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I got it. And then now it's like, oh, you can just buy it. So like, nothing means anything anymore.
yeah, I've got a couple of different viewpoints on this. Like when I was younger and playing World of Warcraft, I was completely against buying gold, buying mounts. But
Mhm.
now I'm ashamed to say I have bought gold because I don't. I mean, for the time that it'll take me to grind, to grind like 3 hours of my time, and it costs like $15 for. $7 for some gold, so I'm going to use that to.
Well, as an
skip the
adult,
line.
time is worth money now.
Yeah,
You know?
but
Yeah.
I still go to the end game. I still go to the end game, and I still put put it in. But it is cheating. You shouldn't be able to buy gold like that. So I still believe in that. But
Unless it's sanctioned by Blizzard.
well, even when it was before they did the token.
Yeah.
But it's even today, like what they've done they've re-released Classic and now they've re-released TBC, and they're shortening down the times. So originally TBC was 2 years, then they re-released it in Classic, and I think it was 1.5 years, and now it's under a year. So all they're doing, this small indie company called Blizzard, is that they're literally re-releasing stuff quicker and quicker to sell boosts. So every time that they re-release or re-release something, then they sell boost. So that's like $60, $80 every time.
That's crazy.
So, and if they shorten down the amount of time that it takes for them to re-release, then they'll get more money. And that, I mean, I will still play World of Warcraft, but
So I brought this up because
Blizzard.
Sega Genesis
dude.
was like my favorite console growing up. I mean, I always
Genesis
had a Sega.
is Mega Drive, isn't it? For us,
It was the Genesis, the cartridge, fucking big.
Was
black
that
box.
the one you had like a black console and you had like a whole fucking thing you shoved into the top of it?
Yeah, and it just stuck right out the top.
Yeah,
well,
dude,
I did shove
the
something
side
in it.
scrollers on that. I mean, the Sonic games, the Batman and Robin game for Sega Genesis was phenomenal. If I could download that, I do have. Do you guys remember Kid Chameleon?
Yeah.
Did you play that?
No.
Oh, okay. So I have one of the. They're cheap now on like Amazon. It's like a Sega Genesis thing you just plug into your TV. It's got like AV ports.
Yeah.
Kid Chameleon, I think, is one of the best games. So it's just a simple side scroller where you play this kid. But there's a bunch of different level ups. So depending on which level you are, you're gonna need the knight with the sword to slay the dragons, or you're gonna need a rhino head because it's rocky and you need to bash through things. And each level has its challenges. And it's another one of those Sega Genesis. It's an old game. If you die, you go back to the beginning. There is no save points.
No
or anything like
checkpoints.
that. Like it is a grindy game, dude, and it is so cool. Like I grew up on Sega Genesis. That's my favorite console.
Well, what was the really hard Disney game? Wasn't it like Aladdin or something?
Aladdin.
Really hard.
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
I was about to bring it up. When he said that, I was about to bring it up. It was for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
We had that at my grandma's house,
gosh.
dude. So we had Aladdin, fucking Mario. We had Clue. I think
Battletoads.
Like we had a bunch. But Aladdin was, dude. Yo, I replayed that game not too long ago on an emulator.
And then you're like, fuck this.
Yeah. Did you really?
Oh hell yeah, dude! That game was shit.
Yeah. It's
So-
a good game.
I want to bring back something that you kind of brought up about the friend swap game. So
Friend swap.
can you?
Friend slop. Yeah. We don't.
Say that again?
That's where you go to around people's houses and drop the keys.
Friend slop. It's like, you know how slop is a term for just like garbage nowadays. friend
Oh,
slop, Disney
okay.
slop.
I thought you said
know.
friend
We
swap. I
don't
was
want
like,
to know
no,
what you
no.
do in your spare time
No.
with friends.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
Foo's
you're right,
Foo's got a
sorry.
pineapple on the back of his
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
You just can't see
So
it.
friend slop. So can you break that like term down? Like give
I
me
don't-
like a full definition.
I
if
don't
you
think
could.
there is a set definition. I think it's one of
Mhm.
those terms where like people will call it that because it feels like that.
Mhm.
And I could be wrong if I've ever called a game or friend slop or whatever. But I think a lot of people see cooperative, 4-player cooperative games that you just play with your friends for what you have Mimesis that kind of stuck out. You have like Phasmophobia. I think it kind of kicked there. I'm not calling that one friend slop because that one was like I think one of the first, but Lethal Company, Helldivers 2 kind of.
Where it's only good when you're playing with other people.
Yeah. So the game wouldn't stand on its own single player. Deep
Okay.
Rock Galactic, as much as I love Deep Rock Galactic, does not stand on its own in single player.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2
doesn't.
is a fun game, does not stand on its own in single player. Satisfactory, you can play that with friends. I have like 200 hours played by myself in my own world, So it's more or less, is co-op a requirement or an option?
Yeah.
I think that's the question that has to be
Interesting.
asked.
Yeah, and I'd like to see a remake of It Takes Two come out because I thought that was
that was pretty recent though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was maybe 10 years ago now, like recent in like
It Takes Two. No, It Takes Two.
No,
is
Yeah,
way
there's
recent.
a newer version of It Takes Two.
Oh, like a remake of the old one?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, because it just that
There's
released.
one in 2021.
March.
Yeah.
2021.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So,
Okay.
but, I mean,
I didn't know
Me
there
and
was
my
another
wife.
one.
Me and my
Okay,
wife were
free Joe.
actually gonna play it, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't think she's ready for this. Like,
Bro,
there's a
you
lot of,
better
like,
be ready for some discussions. You've
that's the
got to
thing.
be
That's the
ready.
thing. I play some games with my wife, and she'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I'm gonna have a conniption. So I'll like get up out of my seat and like go walk in the next room and be like, it's right here. Right
so
here.
expanding on the co-op games, do you think co-op games, like local co-op games, are dying? Because I don't think there's any good
Oh
ones.
yes,
really.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because everybody, I can sit back here and play with you guys if I want. I don't have to go to somebody's house.
Yeah,
You know.
and that's the big thing is your couch co-op or your local co-op is literally there's only games for you, like that's typically for like you and like your wife that are gonna play a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude,
Like,
remember
Not, like,
Couch-
spending
couch
money.
co-op.
Zelda
Some
game?
of us have kids, Foo.
the Zelda game for Game Boy. I think it was A Link in Time, where you had the connectors where you could play with 4 people, but you all had to be wired in.
Was that
Yeah.
the Four Swords?
Oh, 4 Swords. That's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah, not
yeah.
A Link in Time. Yeah.
Remember Pokemon being linked? You could link your game.
But also, to go back to the friend slop thing, it's like, how many of these games are coming? They're turning a $10 transaction to a $40 transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Well, we talked about that. We used to be able to go to GameStop and buy 5-6 games to go try, or you buy the used ones. You know what I mean? Go and be like, dude, I'm gonna try 6 of these games, and if I don't like it, that's cool. I spent $40. You know, and a new game used to be $20. Like, and that I feel like that used to feel expensive. It's like $20 for a brand new video game. That's crazy. And now
Now you're like
blink an eye for $70. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like $60. That's cheap.
It's also a little bit of inflation.
Yeah, with the expansion, $120 for this, and you get this skin and 10,
the wild
10
part about it,
tiers of the
you pay
battle
100
pass.
You pay $120 and still don't own that thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like about Winrose, because I feel like it is that game that you can, and I say that because I've done it. You can either play with your friends or play solo. I mean, I've got tons of hours in it solo. I probably as much time in it solo as I do playing with these guys.
Well, and
a
I
couple
think
of the
that's-
guys from the chat as well.
I think that's a big preference thing too, because of if you're like into exploration, that's great. But like, if you weren't into exploration, or were like one of those people who's like kind of nervous about going out by yourself and one of your friends, like then the game kind of turns into like that friend slop that you're talking about, where it's like, okay, I'm only gonna play this when people are on.
But it gives you the option to go find other servers to find people that are on.
That's true too, and your character transfers, so you can play single player. You don't even have to be on the group server. You can go into single player and just play that if you want to.
And if you play just single player, like a single player map, everything is scaled down to a solo person, to where it's not as hard or as difficult as it would be like the 4 of us, 5 of us on.
Yeah.
because the game's, it's got the scaling options in there.
Yeah, that's why we get bombarded by 8 ships if we go out by ourselves. It's like
When
not
we're
gonna
all
happen
on,
in single
yeah.
player. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I would have to dive more into Windrose more than what I have.
I will say it is it's a game that so very much like you said, like the friend slop. So it's funny that I actually have become a person that it's very hard for me to come on and play a game by myself.
Why is that?
So I don't know if it has to do with the games that are being developed, that they're not keeping my attention enough that I want to play a game long enough, or it's the what is it? Like the fear of missing out of playing with my friends. So because we're getting older and we don't have a lot of time, especially if you have kids or something like that, you get on here and you're like, oh, let's take Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert has over 600 something hours of gameplay or something like that. I would be I would have this fear of oh, I'm going to spend my night tonight grinding this, but then I see all my buddies in the Discord having a good time playing Deadlock or something, or
I get that hard, dude.
The same 4 games that we've been playing for the past 2 years. I see them playing it and I'm like, oh man, I know when I get on there, it's going to be fun. And this is fun too. Don't get me wrong. The Crimson Desert is fun and great.
That's the game's fault, because I think if you find a game that keeps your attention like that, so Crimson Desert does. So I get a little bit of both sides, because when everyone's on and playing Windrose or something, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play Crimson Desert, but that game does hold my attention. But before that, the last single player game that really held my attention like that was Ghost of Tsushima. And that was a while in between, but that game was one that we've talked about it before, was even when my friends were on, I was like, nah, dude, I'm grinding this game. I'm not playing with you guys. This game is amazing. But that was the last game that I could think of that was really like that. When it goes back to games I love, dude, I'll still go back and play Prince of Persia on PS2. I'll go back and play because I've always been a console guy. I've always liked having the PlayStation and the Xbox for the exclusives. You want to talk about PlayStation games? I love Uncharted. I love Prince of Persia. The early Prince of Persia games are amazing. And then Xbox, Knights of the Old Republic. I'm a big Star Wars guy. The Knights of the Old Republic games are amazing. I have them on my phone. I still play them on my phone all the time. Those are the games that I can go back to. I've played them a million times. I can almost tell you the dialogue that's going to happen at every scene. But I still play them. The story still gets me. The game mechanics are still good. The combat's still good. I'm not a big turn-based guy, but I still play that. And actually, you know what? Not Ghost of Tsushima. The last single player game was Clair Obscur.
Oh yeah.
33. That's the last game that I thought that game was fucking perfect. Damn near perfect.
That's one thing
I haven't bought that because of the turn-based. And
I go back and play it in French too.
It's a very interactive turn-based game. There's parries, there's blocks, so you're not just sitting still getting attacked. You can block and parry the enemy's attacks. Play it in French because it's the native language. The music, I don't know if you're into music. You said when you were younger, Carmelo, you wanted to be a game designer.
Yep.
It's funny because my best friend's an artist that we kind of had the same dream. I went to school. I didn't finish, but I went to school for music. He went to school for art. Our kind of dream was he did the game design and I did the music for games. That's how I kind of got really into gaming.
I got a story for you. Just keep going. I got a fucking story.
Yeah, get after it, dude.
No, go ahead. Finish.
No, that was pretty much it. That's how.
So, so my music guy who makes my intro music, my alert sound music, all that guy. I've known him since middle school, and he's been on Fiverr for years. He hates it, by the way, but he's been on it for years, making money off of it. So he has this this customer who puts in $1,000 orders for music. And he was filling out these orders for months and months, no questions. The customer gave him told him what he wanted, all the bells and whistles, yada, yada, yada. And one day Mo is his name. Mo's like, hey man, I've been making a ton of music for you for the past like year or so now. Like, you know, you don't have to tell me, but I'd like to know like what kind of games you're working on or what kind of game you're working on. And the dude sends him the Steam page, and it's nothing but porn games on Steam that he had been making music for. Thousands and thousands of dollars this man has made for making music for porn games.
Wow, dude.
Bro. Oh my
Wow,
God.
wow.
Especially with the Oculus and everything out.
Yeah, bro.
The VR.
Yeah. But to go back to like, you know, how much time we have nowadays. I mean, Fu, you're a nurse. You know, it's all time management. You know, I got a buddy. He's probably in the chat. I have not looked at chat, but he and I, we fucking know life heroes of the storm. And then some nights I'm like, sorry, man, I'm editing. I gotta stream. I gotta do voiceover. I'm writing the script. You know, it's time management, and I get it too. I get it, and especially now with the new games, because we've experienced pretty much almost everything, unless you get like the one-hit wonder like Vampire Survivors or something like that. You know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Is Vampire? Sorry,
Go
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is Vampire Survivors the game you were playing when I hopped in your Twitch?
No, that was
Your
Dark
YouTube?
Watch. That was an
Okay.
05 FPS. It's okay. It was an okay game.
Yeah.
You know, I
Is
just
that the
remember
one
from
where you go
gaming.
around to the hospitals and stuff and like you have these,
No.
I forget which
No,
one was
this is
that?
from 2005. You rob a train, you get turned into a vampire, and first-person shooter. You get vampire powers as you go through the game. It's very simple, nothing crazy, but it's fun. Shut your brain off and just play. Hallway
Dude, I
shooter.
remember
It's a hallway shooter.
the PlayStation 2 Van Helsing game based off that movie.
Yeah,
Dude, that was so good.
fucking fun, dude.
But yeah, so that I was playing Dark Watch because that's one of the October reviews coming out, and then I just finished Mouse PI for Hire today, and then in the next
That
few
was
days,
another game we were talking about. Like that took over Steam. Like that's I think that's number 3 on Steam right now.
So that is the perfect example of art direction beats realism every time.
Yep.
Well, look
That
at World of
is
Warcraft.
the example.
Look at World of Warcraft.
I think WoW it has its distinct style similar to Team Fortress 2.
Yep.
You know, it's that style, it's that aesthetic. And I think that's why WoW has stayed so timeless. Because if it was like Warhammer Online, it wouldn't look too hot, you know?
No. I mean, they have updated the graphics, but essentially it has still set the same.
It's still the same aesthetic, though.
But like you just want something playable. Like at the end of the day, I don't really give
Well,
a fuck
I don't
about
think
the
that's true,
graphics
Dylan.
when
You
it's
want,
like when it's not supposed to be a realistic game. Because I think we've talked about it a little bit before. These games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, they get your expectations up for realism, and then if you don't have a computer that can handle it, you don't have a decent monitor, are you playing on your TV? That just all fades away. Where if you're playing a game with, for lack of better words, cartoony graphics, it doesn't fucking matter what it looks like. It's supposed to be cartoony. It's supposed to be a little grainy. It's supposed to look fun.
But
and
Dylan,
be
you
interactive.
remember when you go into a new game and like you see that new generation of console and you go into a game where the graphics are fucking amazing, you are wowed though. So
I agree, but I also think it is that expectation of the game that you're playing.
yeah,
You know, like if I'm gonna buy a Crimson Desert and it's hyped up that the plants move in the breeze and all that stuff, that's great. There's
then he gets to a waterfall that
even
looks
something like
pixelated.
Fortnite, like it's cartoony. Like I don't have graphics expectations for something like Fortnite necessarily, you know, or like the new Castlevania game that's coming out. Like
I'm still excited for that.
Dude, same. But I don't expect incredible graphics out of that. Like I expect a decent side scroller that looks fucking awesome. Period.
Yeah. So,
You're talking about Belmont's Curse?
Yes.
Okay.
We covered it the week before last week, I think.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what your thoughts are on Baldur's Gate 3.
I like it. I still haven't beat it. I've gotten to Act 3. I'm not a D&D guy, but I do enjoy it. I do like character development.
I'm going to be very controversial here. So I hated it. I hated it. And I love
What did you
Baldur's
hate
Gate.
about it?
It's not a Baldur's Gate game. Like I played 1 and 2.
Okay.
I spent so much time on number 1 when I was
never
younger.
played number 1 and 2. I never played those. So
I mean, I tried to get into it on the PlayStation. I tried to play it on the PC, and then it didn't engage me. It didn't.
Yeah.
I guess one, it probably is too complicated to start
Yeah,
off with. Whereas
that's my wife. She's playing
I know.
Spyro right now, I
And-
think.
yeah,
And you could honestly, you could legit, from what you're telling me, you can make the argument that it's not a Baldur's Gate game because if it doesn't play like it, it's not a Baldur's Gate game, right?
So
and yeah, go on.
I was gonna ask, like, because I didn't play Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, and I'm very much like Carmelo. I'm not really a D&D person. I think the concept of D&D is fucking amazing, and I've seen some of these like little short clips of like these crazy tables that people have, because it truly is like imagination creating these situations. But like, so when you say it doesn't play like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, I never played them. So what is the difference? Because I figured it was the same, like just continuation, and then like 3 was bigger and the story was longer and maybe more immersive. But now I'm interested, Jay. How would you explain that Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 played versus the third?
I haven't played Baldur's Gate 1 for a long while, but it seemed more immersive. Like when you first got in, it was turn-based, but you could pause the game. I mean, this whole new game was great, but it just felt like it wasn't a Baldur's Gate game for me.
Do you feel like it was too immersive? Like the third one was too immersive, or the first one was too immersive, or like more immersive? Which one is more immersive?
In different ways, really. Because you've got the first one's immersive as you start, and you've got a kind of a limited amount of things that you can do, it's paced better. Whereas I felt when you get into Baldur's Gate 3, you just drop down, and then you've got so much that you have to work out. And
well, I feel like immersive is almost a loaded word now, because is the game immersive, where the game is massive and you have options, or is your time immersive into the game? You know, it's like, are you putting time in because the game is developing and you're developing with the game and it's fun and you're getting into it, or is the game just black and white huge and you just have options? There's no real direction, but the game's
and be very careful with that immersive term, because the immersive sim fans are vicious. They're so vicious. There's like, I don't know who has the list, but like there's like a bunch of M-Sims on Steam, and if you're not allowed to stack boxes to skip a section of the game, they will fucking railroad you. They do not give a fuck. Yeah. So be careful with the word immersive.
Well, no, I mean, the pacing is, I mean, with me, Baldur's Gate 1 was like an epic journey across land and stuff, whereas with Baldur's Gate 3 now, it just feels more like a series of like very dense, like handcrafted acts, if that makes sense, rather than
I can see kind of what you're saying with
than a journey. And then they play nothing like each other. I mean, Baldur's Gate 1 was like an isometric CRPG, I would say. I mean, it was time combat. You could pause and you could set, and it had a huge world map. But go on.
That I think that goes back to Carmelo's point earlier about how it's crazy to think that, like, okay, so we back in like early 2000s, the games that were being produced at the time were obviously at like the cutting edge of the time, and they were great. Like, developers had to put in effort to create a disc and sell it, as opposed to now, which kind of brings up kind of like our topic that I wanted to talk about, is like these creators now don't push the agendas. They don't try to do anything crazy. They try to do something that's very similar to a AAA title and say, hey, look at what we did, but we changed like this one little thing.
Yeah. And they changed it. But there's no turns in Baldur's Gate 1. You don't have it's not a turn-based game particularly. You can pause and you can set your characters to attack and do spells, and you can queue like multiple actions. But it's like Baldur's Gate 3 is not a Baldur's Gate game, and I'll probably get fucking shafted.
So wait, with that being said, would you say that Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely more a D&D style game, where like, because that's how D&D is really played. Like, you get a turn, you have so many actions within your turn, and like depending on what your action is, like you have to do like dice rolls to figure out like, oh, did I like, you know, like when I shot my arrow at this enemy, did I actually hit it? Oh, you're gonna roll for that. And depending on what you roll, that's
Warhammer's the same way. Warhammer, like tabletop Warhammer, gets very into that, like with the turn-based. I mean, people are taking multiple rolls for damage, for shields, for movement. And like, I mean, the tables are really cool too, because you have structures. So if you have a team hidden behind a structure, like you can't penetrate that, or unless you have like it gets so into it. But then there's also the Warhammer video games where it's just
That
running
doesn't
around
exist.
and
Yeah.
killing aliens.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's a Warhammer IP. So
Yeah.
here's an interesting concept that I've kind of thought about a little bit. This goes into Baldur's Gate 3, that separation. So I'm assuming everybody in here is familiar with Assassin's Creed, right? We are all familiar with it. We've all played at least one of them. Now, at some point, there was a huge shift in game design philosophy for those titles. Most
Black
notably,
Flag, I'd say, wasn't it?
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I love
No.
Assassin's Creed.
I'm stoked for Resynced, but no, it was for Origins. That's when it became an RPG, and so when that came out, a few years later, I was asking myself, like, hey, is this a sign of game development evolving for that kind of game? Because they've done, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of the old combat style, the old free running and all that, and now they're trying something new. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And you have to ask those questions whenever new games come out, like the jump from Halo 3 to Halo Reach, Baldur's Gate 2 to Baldur's Gate 3, even though there's like decades in between that. And that's a game design philosophy question, I think, more than anything. It's like, do we keep the old systems or do we change them?
Well, because people want change, but not too much. And that, like you're saying, like that's that delicate balance of like, people don't want necessarily a completely different game because that could flop so hard. But if you keep re-releasing the same thing with a different map or a different color skin, you're just, then it gets boring. So where do you keep people's attention without changing the game too much to turn them away?
You have to make small.
It's what happened with Dragon Age Valguard, isn't it? They changed the game.
Yeah,
it just fucking flopped big time.
Yeah, well, that's just like that game that Highguard.
I'll be right back.
God, Highguard was a piece of trash. It was so bad.
All right, so now, no. This is because I didn't play it, and I guess it kind of sucks for me to like even talk about a game that I really didn't play. Dude. But okay, so give me your thought process on that game, because I read a lot of reviews about the game, and I don't know. Have you ever? I watched another streamer named Big Fry, and he like shit all over it. And I was thinking, like, my brain can only like fathom that, like. Yes, I understand that there are people that hype this game up for it to be amazing, and because they took that whole last.
I got a big note on the hyping thing, but go ahead.
So like he absolutely like destroyed this game, and my thought process was like, I get that, like, let's say the gameplay is not what you expected, or like it's not as smooth as you wanted it, or whatever the reason is, but it's still a free game. That's what got me. Is like, if people had paid like $60 for the game and it was just dog shit, it's like, okay, that makes sense. Like, you paid money and this is bad, like really bad. But the game was free. That's
if
why
I gave you dog shit and it was free, does that mean you're going to take it? Not to be facetious, but No,
that's a good point.
If I were to give you a literal piece of dog shit, would you take it? Just because it's free?
No, but like,
not being facetious, not being like gotcha, but like just because it's free, doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay, so that gets into like the topic that I wanted to ask everybody is like, these game developers were no longer getting like a full product. Back in the early 2000s, they had to create a full product because they had to put it on a disc and sell it. Now, because we have the online like space to do it, they'll just release a game that's half-assed and be like, hey, it's in alpha or it's in beta, early access, and we'll update it. How do you guys feel about developers moving into that space? Do you think that it's okay for AAA titles to do it? And then, like, what are your thoughts just surrounding that whole idea of like early access, beta, it's half-assed?
Well, if the game's released in 1.0 from any developer, you should bully them until, and demand refunds, period. If it's 1.0, it is fair game.
Oh, you must know about that RPG. What is the name of it? But they released it on Steam. They released it on Steam as an early access just to say that they don't have to give people refunds.
Crimson. Oh my gosh,
Oh.
Ashes, something Ashes.
Ashes of Creation.
Didn't we cover it?
Ashes of Creation.
Yep. So they,
Yeah, bully those people. They, they're thieves. They're modern day thieves is all what they are. But for early access titles, it's so hard to say about early access because you have people who genuinely believe in the project that they are working on. They are genuinely trying to make a game like Gloomwood right now. I'm super interested in that game. I haven't touched it because it's in early access, but super interesting looking game. And I believe that Dylan Rogers is really, and his team are really trying to make a game. However, I do think there should be a time limit on early access titles. And I also believe that the time limit should be there, and then if they don't meet that time limit, everybody gets a refund. Yeah, I'm so pumped for this because it looks fun. And I talked to those New Blood dudes on Twitter. It was a solo dev game by Dylan Rogers. It's an MSIM, and I haven't played it myself, but it's supposed to call back to games like Thief, the classic games. It's an immersive sim stealth survival horror title. It looks super interesting. Graphically, not there entirely, but it's got an aesthetic to it. Yeah, I'm super interested.
But that's also what's missing. People care too much about graphics and less 100%. About gameplay and story. Put that shit aside, dude. Enjoy it. Like someone had to draw all of this. Think about that. Like it's cool. Like
I think also to your point about like the graphics and stuff like that is like kind of what you're saying is like if you come into a game like Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that, and depending on I would also say depending on the studio, like if it's a AAA developer, you should expect that because they have the funds, the resources, the people to make everything. In fact, like there's a big controversy just about like how like if you have like a tack sprint or like a sprint in a game, like how the gun moves when you sprint. Does it go up when you sprint? Does it like go down? Does it like what does it do? And a lot of people attack
also what's copyrighted.
Yeah.
How is it? From
I'm not sure, but like when they have stock sounds of gun ranges for gunfire, so they probably have to go and record their own gun sound. So it would not surprise me if animations are copyrighted, just like the Nemesis system from the Shadow of War games.
Well, especially when you have games like Call of Duty getting people like Tulam or whatever, the Green Beret, the Asian guy who's Ronin in Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
So like now you have actual military dudes in there. And then they're also doing a lot of their own executions. So they're going in there with the developers. They're putting all the sensors on, and they're doing their own executions. And and they're involved with the game, which I think is cool. Like that's another aspect of gaming I think is cool. But Call of Duty, I still play it. I always liked it, but I'm getting so over it because again, I want those story games to come out. I grew up playing without people. I kind of want to get back to that, but still have the conversation. Like, and like that's why I think Discord's a great thing because we could all be playing something different and still hang out. So like that friend, like we have the opportunity now to still connect with our friends and play and be around and talk to our friends while playing these single player games. So I think they need to come back a little bit more.
When going back to the early access stuff, what really grinds my gears is when they have like stores on early access. So you can fucking buy. Why am I buying some fucking shit that I don't want to buy on a fucking pre-access game that I've already had to pay for to play a beta test? Why am I fucking paying for a beta test?
Yeah, that's
or
really
like
it.
You have to pre-order the game to get into the beta, and you're like, I don't know if I want the game.
And then you've got to give another $5.
Like, do you remember? I'm pretty sure everybody in here did it. Everybody bought Crackdown for the Halo 3 beta.
Yeah.
Anybody else do that? Yeah.
Well, and like Cheese Spread, Delta Force from 1998 had Bullet Drop.
Yeah.
That's when people weren't concerned about graphics and everything else. They were concerned about gameplay. That's what we're missing. They want the battle passes, the skins. Call of Duty drops new skins every week or two anymore. It's like, why don't you put that effort and money and all your budget into making the fucking game work or your anti-hacking stuff, because half the time I won't play ranked anymore once I get past gold, because it's all just hackers. I can't get past gold in Call of Duty
That's what I
anymore.
say,
And I
Dylan.
used to love playing
They're
ranked.
hacking. They're all hacking, mate. That's me, though.
But to go
Yeah,
back
it's
to
not me for sure, dude. I'm
to go
great.
back to Foo's question about High Guard, it was
Yeah.
a mishmash of just games, kind of like you had a 3v3, you had a barely MOBA element to it, you had Rainbow Six Siege in it somehow,
Yeah.
you had Counter-Strike in it. And plus, for future reference, any game that looks like it's trying to be competitive online gaming. What's it called? Fuck.
Esports.
Esports. Yes, thank you. Whenever you have a game that's trying to come off like that right away, like just ignore it.
yeah.
Because like
You're
if you go back
gotta
and
put it down.
watch the trailers and stuff like that, they were talking as if it was an esport, and it was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. But the game just doesn't work. It's just they threw too much shit together, and it did not work.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's what I think you were talking about earlier, is like, how do you strike this balance of like taking what is good and works and
Mhm.
like adding to it, but then like, because that I think that's a perfect example of someone like saying, oh, we need to change the mold, but they changed it way too much and
Mhm.
way
Well,
too
like,
fast.
dude,
And it would
I
just,
think of it like, oh, this is a funny analogy, but it's almost like cooking. It's like if you have a recipe, you go to the store, you buy the things from that recipe, you follow the recipe, and you make it. That meal's gonna look good.
Mhm.
If you go into your fridge and just cook whatever the fuck you find, it still may turn out all right, but it's not gonna turn out as good as if you fucking plan the meal. You know, so it's like
It
that's
might. It depends on what you've been indulging
no,
in.
no, but you're
Man.
absolutely right though, because there's games like that come out that are those
Jay knows.
outliers that are kind of thrown together that you're like, holy fuck, this game's awesome. You know, and then there's other games that are clearly like that where you're like, this is a jumbled mess, nothing works. I can't even press a button and it does the right thing, or like there's no way to adjust. What game was I playing the other day? I tried another stupid like indie. I tried another indie game, and I was like, dude, there's no way to adjust my settings in this game. I forget what game it was. I was like, that's just odd. I don't like that. You know, I was like, I'm not gonna play this game.
can't turn the motion blur off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I'm
The
I'm
motion.
I'm literally about to go on a shooting spree over Unreal Engine 5, dude, and the post-processing effects and how it runs like shit.
You can't
I
say that
stand
live,
it.
man.
Yeah, he
I-
means
I
in the
shut
game.
down.
In the
He means in
Minecraft.
the game.
In
In the game. In
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
In
Let
Minecraft.
me download a mod really quick.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. That's freaking
How do you feel about
That's a
real life
good question.
storytelling, such as in 6 Days in Fallujah? It's an older game as well.
I wouldn't say it's older. I mean, it's within the
I've not
past 5
played that.
years. So
I've not played that. Is it a good game?
I have not played it
It's-
either.
I haven't. I've
it's
wanted to
al-
play it.
I've heard
Joe's
it's like
played it.
giving Marines like PTSD because it's so like.
Wow, I didn't think they already had it, but
Well,
yeah, but I mean, yeah.
You would think when you're playing video games, this is my safe place, and they go and play games like this, and they're like, "I'm back in Fallujah, like I'm here."
No, some of them didn't have PTSD. Some of them had nostalgia. Be real here.
Like,
you're right.
yes,
I can't
I
say
need to
shit.
go
I
back
didn't say
here.
it. I didn't-
But I know,
Yeah, I
like
didn't either.
Joe and I have talked about that game because I wanted to play it. He's played it, and he's like, the sound, like when you're playing it, like you have to fucking like damn near yell over the gunfire, like into your mic. Whereas like, and we were playing with Brady, we were playing a squad, dude, and I was playing first off playing that game. I was like, man, machine gunner would have been fun because he was like, who wants to do machine gun? I was like, I'll take it, and then I'm just sitting there just fucking spraying it, just and
And-
dude, it's fucking loud, and
Yeah.
like you got to be loud, and you know, I don't know. I think it would be. I never experienced any of that, so I mean, I don't know how
Yeah,
you know how realistic it's going to be. Like Joe seemed like it was pretty close. I mean, I don't know what Joe did, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
I know Joe from the way that he talks to Brady. He wasn't infantry. I don't think so, because the way that Brady, like him and I don't know, Joe, were you in? You're in here. Just tell us what you did, dang, dude. What the heck?
He was a pod.
But
What's a pod?
yeah,
Person other than Grunt, so he
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
infantry.
Ah, no. Okay.
yeah. So
I'll try to make
were you-
something funny.
He wasn't infantry and he wasn't a male nurse, somewhere in between.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Gay.
Did you to actually just to bring that up, Carmelo, when you got out of the military, did you stick with the nursing at all for a little bit, or are you still doing it on the side, or what?
I work in a cardiology clinic just with a doctor, and that's pretty much all I do. But for a time, I tried to do this full time beforehand, and I was like, oh man, I'm running out of money. I might as well start applying to jobs. So I was waiting. I was waiting on my nursing job to come open and take that job. But what I did for fun was I would apply to places I had no intention on working at. I would go to like Walmart, McDonald's, do the interview, and they'd be like, hey man, we'd really like to have you. I'd be like, cool. And then never talk to them again. And then they would call me, be like, hey, can you go online and finish out this application process? I'll be like, nah, I'm good. And just hang up. I did that until I got my nursing job.
Why would you do that?
I was bored,
I used to do the similar thing,
For
dude.
fun.
You know how they say like you dress for the job you want.
Yeah.
And I was applying for police departments, when I was
So
like
you just
21,
came in with no
22.
pants on?
No, I'd walk in dressed as Batman and I wouldn't get the fucking job. So I didn't get it, but
Could you imagine if you go in like, hello, I'm Batman? They're like, well, you've got the job.
where is she?
Yeah. So, oh shit, I didn't really
Where's
want the job.
Dude, that's how I became a fireman. I showed up for a calendar shoot with the fucking my turnout gear on. I thought it was just a modeling job.
Anyone want to hold my hose?
Oh,
So
man.
I got a question I want to ask all four of you individually. So I've checked out all y'all's Twitch channels. I'm like I don't want to put y'all on the spot, but how long have y'all been doing this? Is this like still kind of new to you all?
5 weeks.
yeah.
5 weeks?
Yeah, so like I used to be like during like the COVID years, I had a pretty decent like I say pretty decent for me, but like Facebook streaming when Facebook
Okay.
was pretty big.
Yeah.
And then that kind of fell off. I had some people in the chat like we have now that say some real fun stuff that got my page taken down. So then I lost I went from like over 1,000 followers down to like 300.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
And then like my personal got deleted. So like I had to make a new personal Facebook. And it's funny because my gaming Facebook is still up, but it only has 300 followers, but I'm not a part of it anymore because I had to make a new personal. So then I took a break for a long time until I met these guys. Cause like I'd never stopped gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until like all of us started talking and we're like, hey man, you guys want to do something with like gaming or streaming or like do like maybe a counterculture gaming team? And it's like, let's do all of it,
Okay. All right.
I started back in like I want to say it was like 2018. It was right when For Honor come out
Mhm.
originally. Is when I
Mhm.
started wanting to do like stream to Twitch, but I had really shitty internet and a console, and like Twitch streaming from a console wasn't what it is today. So I never really got into it, and then I ended up getting a $300 gaming PC off of Facebook Marketplace, and
That's
and
scary.
tried.
and
And
it worked
I-
for a week.
It worked for a little bit, but I was still like I had gotten the better internet because we moved from an apartment. My wife got pregnant. We moved from an apartment and into a house. We got better internet, found that gaming PC, and it was right after Fortnite come out and got real big.
Mhm.
So I was like, dude, I want to stream Fortnite. So I got that PC, set it up, got the Twitch page that you looked at. That's been my Twitch page since, and got all that stuff set up. I've switched like some stuff around since then, like design wise, and then streamed for a little bit. I got about 50 to 60 followers. Like I had everything for affiliate.
Mhm.
I had everything for affiliate except the follower count.
Mhm.
And I think like you had to have 100 followers or something.
Something like that.
And I had everything but that. Like I even had my viewers. Like you had to have 3 average viewers. I had my viewers.
Yeah.
And then life kind of just took over. Like I had a kid.
Yeah.
I go through like seasons of gaming. Like during the winter, I'll usually game more than I do in the summer, if any at all during the summer. Because in the winter, I don't like being outside when it's cold. I'm a little bitch when it comes to the cold.
Mhm.
When it's summer, like I'm spending more time outside touching grass. And then it just kind of went like that. Like stopped streaming, Then we moved to the house we're in now. Went back to the trash internet. I had satellite internet for a while where I'm at now. So like that's like streaming anything is, you know, like we were lucky Netflix was streamed. And then a couple of years went by, got better internet. I was like, fuck, dude, I got good internet now. I'm going to start streaming again. Kind of got into it a little bit, fell off, and then I got hurt at work chasing a suspect. And then I was off for like a really long time, and I had nothing better to do than sit here and play games. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stream again, see what happens there. And then I was able to network with a couple other streamers that I found through 7 days. Like I was playing 7 Days to Die. What else was I playing then? Just different stuff, and networking through them ended up being able to hit affiliate. And then I fell off again because I went back to work.
Yeah.
And I work, law enforcement 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it was just like juggling, like being a husband, being a dad, work, and trying to game and do a streaming thing wasn't happening. So I fell off. And then until like Dylan said, like then like being part of the like following Anti-Hero and Counterculture, met up with these guys, started doing this. I was like, I could dabble back into streaming a little bit. Plus I'm hurt again, so like I have the extra time.
That's when he gets hurt.
My Twitch is literally just a link. Like I have like 17 followers. Like I haven't done anything with Twitch. I was a Facebook guy when I was.
I remember. I mean, I recorded some World of Warcraft content like 13 years ago with Fraps, like when Cataclysm first came out.
By the way, would it be more merciful if I just did this and looked at you?
Yeah, every time.
no, go ahead.
There's that word immersive, dude. That's the key word now, I guess.
But yeah, what about you, Fu?
Was that
honestly,
it for you, Jay? Just Fraps and WoW? That was it?
That was it, yeah. Fraps and like boats and hose. Fraps and
So when it comes to streaming, I've always wanted to do streaming, but I never felt there's only probably been 1 or 2 games that I felt like I could have streamed and like been engaging enough with like a chat room along with also like teaching people the game. Cause I watch a lot of these streamers and like when they're playing the game and they're able to like talk through like what they're doing, like, I'll watch all the like the really like I guess like famous like World of Warcraft streamers like Peekaboo. Like I'll watch him play like an arena match and like his ability to explain to you what he's doing while he's doing it, what he sees on the screen. I'm like, dude, I know I'm not. I don't know if I'll ever be that good, let alone be able to do it in front of an audience and talk about it while I'm doing it. Because sometimes I feel like I'm like when I'm playing a game, like if I'm playing like Siege or something, and I'm like focused, like I'm staring at the screen, and like my wife, she told me she used to sit in here sometimes, and she'll be like, "Are you okay?" Like, what are you talking about?
That's it.
She's like, you're breathing like a fucking Neanderthal. And I'm like, oh.
Shut up.
I don't even know that's going on because I'm just, I'm just like.
Well, Chode thought I was asleep at the mic the one night and it ended up being my dog snoring.
Yeah. Bro, because I get on Discord, dude, and I'm like, Dylan's in there, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? And it's quiet, and I'm like, you there? And I just hear. This motherfucker fell asleep at his PC.
I'd give him a shout out if he was up here. I don't know where my dog's at. He's usually right underneath my feet.
The one thing though that I have always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to play in some type of tournament, like some type of get to a point in a game that I'm good enough to play in like a major tournament. And I've always told all of my friends, I'm like, dude, I don't care what game we play. Any game that we can go and play in a tournament, like let's grind it and get good. Let's do it.
I think the earlier 2000s into like the 2010s was probably like Kamar, like you were saying, like it's probably the best time for gaming. But I think COVID too, I had so much fun with the push of the streaming stuff that came with COVID. I mean, you had Z-Laner. Who was the other the British dude who played Call of Duty? I forget his name. Either way, you had a lot of these dudes coming out, and then they had their own websites for the tournaments. And then if you had like Cash App or something like that, like you put money in, I think I had more fun gaming with shitty games in that period than any other time, because I think the playability, everyone was off work. I think the multiplayer, and I think that's why gaming is the way it is now, is honestly, I think it's a little bit related to COVID, because so many people were off at one time that everyone hopped on games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, these multiplayer games where they were in crews and they were on chats. I mean, I was playing with mostly Australians all the time, because at the time I was working on a dairy farm. So I was up at 3:30 in the morning to go milk cows. So I had a weird schedule. So by the time I was on, yeah, dude, my double hand is, it fucking get with you, dog. I'll be the quickest thumb you ever have. But yeah, yeah, dude, I think gaming during COVID changed a lot for the gaming world.
Well, I mean, you bring up a good point. Everything you listed was a household name. You know, people who don't play games, they get a console. Well, if they could have gotten a console, they get a console during COVID, and they're like, "Oh, what's Battlefield? What's Call of Duty?"
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. They're the first ads that come up. They have the most budget. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carmelo, I might have to try this Hero of the Storm game.
It's League of Legends. It's League of Legends.
Except it's like 20 minutes at most. That's why I enjoy it. I used to be a big Dota guy. And then like those games last like a fucking hour, and I don't want to do that. So I just play Heroes for 20 minutes at a time. That's it.
Yeah, that's nice. Cause League, like I just had a scrimmage today with like a bunch of our buddies in a different chat in League, and like those League games, they last like, I would say like if you're absolutely massacring a team, I mean like they could quit, but like you might be able to win in like 25-30.
Oh, do they have like do they have a concede option?
I haven't played it in years.
They do. Yeah, they have like you can definitely vote to surrender.
Okay. So like Heroes, like bro, you're in it. You're in it until you lose.
There's no quitting.
Yeah, that's the one thing I fucking
And
hate,
do you get a penalty if you do quit?
Yeah, you get in the leavers queue, which I'm in all the time because I can't stand the people I get paired up with. so like I don't know about you, but in Heroes there's a character named Abathur. He does not play the field at all. He does like crazy like meta level shit. He's like a god tier character, but all the shitty players want to play him, and like every time I get into a game with him, I just quit. I don't want to play with him. I just don't.
But when I was looking at it,
he's made for Koreans. That's the kind of character he is. He's made for Koreans.
Yeah. I was looking at it. It looks like it. So is it a cross of World of Warcraft and Diablo?
Well,
or like StarCraft?
So the company is named Blizzard, and what is Blizzard? It's a storm. So Heroes of the Storm. So they take all their famous characters from across all their games and put them into that.
That's fucking cool. Yeah. Like I didn't even because the only thing I paid attention to on Blizzard was World of Warcraft and like Diablo. When you said that game, I was like, that's a Blizzard. Like I thought it made me think of like the trading card game, Hearthstone. And I was like, okay.
I used to be a fiend for that, bro. I was a fiend. So like a week or so ago, you guys were talking about those fucking whales that buy every microtransaction for a game. I was that for Hearthstone, bro.
Dude, everyone's got a weak spot.
That was it. I quit. I quit like a few years ago. But man, that was
Valorant was my weak stone.
So what do you think about Diablo and the new Lord of Hatred?
I've never played Diablo.
Yeah.
I played like Torchlight, and but I've just never
Diablo 2 started it for me. Like, ever
since
Diablo 2, I've been so hooked on that game. I love Diablo. That's another one that like I'll have the phone version on my phone so I can have something like that to play on my phone, because Diablo Immortal is so similar to Diablo 4 on the PC or on the console. It's
Diablo 2, do you mean? Or Diablo 4?
No. Diablo Immortal and Diablo 4.
Oh, okay.
The new versions. Yeah. So Diablo Immortal, like the phone version, is literally Diablo 4. Like the maps are almost the same. The characters are like the abilities, everything. I don't think it's transferable from your phone to, like I was saying, where Winds Meet earlier. Like that's from your phone game to PC. If you use the same login, your data is shareable. I don't think Diablo's that. Is it?
I think so.
Oh, so did you like Diablo 3? Because I didn't like it. I didn't like Diablo 3.
Dude,
Oh.
I like all of them based.
Interesting.
It's a nostalgia thing for me.
I
Like
was
the
I went
the
to
Diablo games.
BlizzCon in 2010. I think they announced Diablo 3 there, but I'm not sure. Can't remember. But yeah, I didn't really like it. It was
such a
just
cool
boring for
thing
me.
to
Like
say.
Diablo 1, Diablo 2 were a lot better than Diablo 3 for me.
Yeah, Diablo 1, I didn't play that much. Diablo 2, I think, is one of the best games that's been out there, honestly, for like an RPG. That sparked my video game interest to go from like just playing video games to like grinding video games. Yeah, like
Mhm.
Diablo 2 was that game for me. And like I said, Knights of the Old Republic was like that too. Like that was one of the first RPGs that was like
Yeah.
a little bit simpler than a game like Diablo, where like you have like 3 classes, like you can kind of play the game however you want to play, like that the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game. That was just, the story was great in that game. When I was pretty young when Diablo 2 came out, but like that was the game that really got me into like the grinding aspect of like playing video games.
Yeah.
And World of Warcraft, but I never really stuck with that because I never had the money for a subscription. Like my parents couldn't fucking pay that.
I played
like,
Dark Age of Camelot. I played Ultima Online, Dark Age of Camelot. All of those RPG games I was really into. I mean, Ultima Online was the first RPG, MMORPG that I really got into.
Yeah, the RuneScape was
RuneScape, baby.
Yeah, so like it was a free-to-play game. It took nothing to run it. I could do it on my parents' shitty ass fucking computer. You know, and like that was the game that kind of did
the
it for
Dell
me.
that everyone had, even school libraries. You know,
absolutely, yeah. You could play it wherever.
Like I said, when me and my brothers used to fight over the family computer to play RuneScape.
Yeah.
I was an only child. I never had to fight. I just gamed, dog.
It was a shit.
I mean, there are a couple of other bits that we can touch
and
on. And
BioShock was another one that I loved. The single player.
Yeah,
game.
we got about 15 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, you got Pragmata's coming out, Metro, Black Flag Racing, Diablo.
Pragmata.
Okay,
so let's cover some news.
Yeah,
you guys want to bring?
Fuck news, dude! Up? I got news.
Oh, what's that?
Oh,
you're gay?
No, God no.
Oh,
you're gay. That was
okay, Ben. It's okay.
You can come out to us.
That's right.
I know you're.
If I was gay, I'd switch my career to nursing. Foo.
How long you been waiting to use that one?
It just popped in my head.
Yeah, sure it has.
Dude, so you mentioned the Microsoft CEO change. So
I wanted to talk about that. Yes. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I said it.
We're gonna talk about it right now, Foo.
Yeah. Because I wanted to ask.
So they've dropped the Microsoft
Chinese,
gaming, and they're returning back to the Xbox brand, like under the new CEO. She says that Xbox.
Mean?
Well, she says
I thought Microsoft owned Xbox.
Well, calm down. Hold on. I'm reading what she said. She said Xbox needs to be their identity, reversing the 2022 rebrand when Phil Spencer became CEO of the broader gaming unit during the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Her Sharma, what's her name? Asha Sharma. Hope I said that right.
I think that's my order.
You're the one with the least amount of letters.
Bless you. It sounded like you sneezed.
But
bless you.
She forms part of her efforts to refocus on the core Xbox brand and put fans first.
That's an interesting.
What does that mean? That means nothing. That doesn't tell me anything.
They don't know.
I think what that means to me is like keeping it with the exclusives, keeping that separate.
Going back to what a lot of the conversation has been like how gaming was like back during the Xbox 360 era when it was like.
I don't think it can ever be like that. Though. It can't ever be like that again, though. Because
but that's what I think. Bigger. That's what she's trying to go for, though.
I mean, if she does, awesome. I know people
possible.
don't like to hear that, but it needs console exclusivity. Is
yes,
absolutely. It drives money. It's like you have your PlayStation and you have your Xbox or Nintendo. Like that that's what used to separate all of us. Like,
I don't think console exclusivity is going to save Xbox though. Just making more games exclusive to Xbox is not going to save Xbox.
I mean,
I feel like is that even an Xbox like, can they even like talk about how, like, can they even make that decision? Because isn't that really a developer's decision? Like when they develop a game, they say, okay, hey, like we're gonna develop
he's the
this for
CEO
Xbox,
of
PlayStation,
Well,
PC.
that's the heads of the studios, right?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
they
made
say
by
they
people
some
with money.
big wig with a cigar in his mouth is like, yeah, we're going to release this on Steam, Xbox,
Goddamn.
PlayStation,
Yeah.
microwave. You know, that's
Yeah, that's
them.
it, Microwave.
You know,
It's gonna be on your
their
smart
decision.
refrigerator.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
So let me read what this whole tag under the post that I was like. So Microsoft is dropping the Microsoft Gaming name and bringing everything back under Xbox, signaling a major shift in identity, strategy, and player focus across its entire gaming division. The move, announced by the Xbox CEO Asha Sharma, bless you, reverses the 2022 structure introduced
I
under
literally
Phil
had to stop
Spencer
myself saying that.
during the Activision Blizzard acquisition, aiming to simplify branding, reduce confusion across console, PC, and cloud, and rebuild a clear, unified Xbox identity for players worldwide. It also reflects growing player concerns around pricing, services like Game Pass, and overall direction, with Microsoft now focusing on hardware, content, and experience under one strong Xbox brand to rebuild trust and strengthen its position against competitors.
Well, they're
trying to separate the grow.
Mean. What does
But
that
they're trying to-
mean?
They're trying to bring back the Xbox player identity,
Yeah,
like the
fan
player
base.
loyalty.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
an
they-
Xbox player
I'm
But a
versus
few
all
years
a
ago,
PlayStation
they
player.
distanced them. They bought out Microsoft Gaming, didn't they? So they tried to bring it all under one banner. They've just got rid of the name Microsoft Gaming. They were
Yeah.
going
So then,
to use
what's that project called though? With their new console / PC, what was that called? It's called like Project something.
God, I don't remember.
Because I thought that was a Microsoft project to basically merge Microsoft and Xbox to make a
Microsoft
basically
Gaming, I think.
Project
PC.
Helix.
Helix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that same CEO, let's see, a lot of the things that she's done for this change, like she's cut the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $29.99 down to $22.99.
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt, Joe, but the only reason they've fucking done that is because they've taken Call of Duty out. That's the only reason they've been able to reduce the price.
agree with that.
Is because so they're saying, oh yeah, look, we're fucking reducing the prices, man.
But they're taking out the big
Yeah.
headliner
Also,
games that
note-
people get the Game Pass for to get for
Important
free.
side note: they did raise the price a few months ago, so that
They
could
did.
be partial blowback. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Well-
they did too. Yeah, because I got the email for both. I got an email a couple months ago. Hey, we're raising the prices, and then this week when that got released, I got the email. Hey, we just lowered. We're so awesome. We lowered your already raised price back to what it used to be.
Well,
and we're
another
giving you
thing
less,
she's
and we're
another
giving you
thing-
less.
another thing she's focusing. It says she's focusing on is committing to more human crafted games and roll out the low quality AI content.
That would be
Mhm, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That I'm all behind. Like we talked about character of game for an hour tonight. Bring back the character, bring back the actual artwork. The people stop laying off people and replacing their jobs with AI just because
Yeah.
it's a video game and it's technology. That doesn't mean it's still like
Hmm.
there's a part of me like that kind of hates when people are like, oh, video games aren't art. It's like, do you realize what goes into making a good video game? Like some of these big headliners now, you could do a lot of this with AI, but go back 10, 15, 20 years when that's artwork. You're talking about people writing music. You're talking about people drawing every scene, every character, stuff like that.
Yes,
Like there was effort that put into it, and you felt that when you played the game.
but game studios and developers are only going to do that if people complain, because if not, it's going to be the cheaper option all the way.
Dude, you don't
It's
even have to
capitalism.
complain anymore, I don't think, because there's millions and millions of people. It's worldwide. They're all spending money. I don't think they give a shit anymore.
And again, if a game's successful or bad, they get laid off regardless.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that doesn't
That's
really
true.
matter.
It's a win-win for the company and a lose-lose for everyone else.
I do think society these days are more accessible to shit though, because they're like, okay, it's another Call of Duty game. We don't have to, and companies take advantage of that and say, right, what can we get away with this time that we can just pump out another $60 game?
But the problem is too, you have a big company like Call of Duty getting away with a shit game. That's the problem, because there's the name behind it and there's downloads behind it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a shit game was a shit game. It didn't get sold. It wasn't on the GameStop fucking wall. just wasn't. You know what I mean? Or someone told you don't buy.
No,
that
it
game.
was on the wall. None of the copies sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was all that was on the wall.
Experience. It had the
But
yellow
why are
tag
we-
on it. It's like
Why are we
$5.99.
more? Why are
Yeah,
we more
but, like,
susceptible to this to buying shit then? Do you think?
Think about someone who's
we want it
a
to not
younger
be shit.
generation that just
Yeah.
got a console for Christmas or something and doesn't know anything about gaming. When they open up the Xbox store or the PlayStation store or Steam or so, what are they going to see? They're going to see the Call of Duties. They're going to see the Battlefields. They're going to see the Fortnites. They're going to see all that stuff. It could be a fucking shit game, but it's the
But
first
that's the
thing
same
that
sort of
comes up.
situation of like 20, 30 years ago in Christmas when we opened our shit. Like we're the same sort of people. We didn't know about gaming.
Yeah,
And
but people had to make those games. And like I know people make it now. I mean, that's a loaded fucking thing, but like we go back to character. People made those, you felt the effort that people put into those games.
That and there's so modern gamers, there's no standard of what they expect. So one of my videos, Still Wakes to the Deep review. It's a shit horror game. Terrible. Not that scary. No character development whatsoever. Just not good whatsoever. So people go on there, they bitch and complain. They say that I don't know what I'm talking about. They say it's a great game, yada yada yada. When they say things like that, that tells me they haven't played enough games. Because any horror game that people should play is Amnesia: The Dark Descent, the first
that was
one.
great.
Understand what Daniel's character development is, and then you'll see like, oh shit, writing can be really good and really impactful. And I feel like people play so many mainline games that whenever something is just slightly out of their comfort zone, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, when it's really just not even good.
Or people don't take time anymore. Like everything, I feel like a lot of the conversation and the dialogue in games is AI driven, where back in the day, it's like people are just button smashing to get through cutscenes.
Yeah.
So they're not even getting
because the
game
story's not good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I used to love reading the cutscenes. There also used to be like people think games are dynamic and stuff now. It's like I always go back to Knights of the Old Republic, but like Knights of the Old Republic 2, you can switch some of your team members from light side to dark side depending on
that was cool as shit, dude. That was so cool.
That's
Dude,
so
Fable.
cool, man. And that's like
Fable
a
was
2007 game.
Bro,
Fable
I
was
love
great.
Fable so
Fable,
much. Fable 2 all the way. It's so
Yeah.
good.
So,
Anyway,
Yeah.
next
Those games.
news article, I guess.
well, what do you guys think about the new Xbox logo? I've seen a lot of people shit talking, and
Xbox.
I've got it pulled up right here.
You gotta bring it up, my brother.
Well, yeah, I was waiting for us to get to the.
That's the same as it was
Eh.
20 years ago.
That's the new one.
It's just
That's
stylized.
the new one. That's the old one.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, it's
They probably played.
looks
actually a
20
callback to the
years.
Reminds me
original
of the
Xbox.
button on the Xbox.
Well,
One.
they probably
Original
paid
Xbox
20
button.
fucking gazillion dollars for that as well. Right, someone to design.
Yeah,
for
when
AI,
AI
just to
could've
be
done
like,
that.
there
Yeah.
you go.
That's ChatGPT. Can you
Yeah,
make
it's
this
a-
circle green?
It's a callback to the original Xbox startup screen,
Yeah,
where it's like
it
a
is.
gear in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, it's like you see that meme or whatever going around of the original PlayStation, the piano dropping sound. You
Yeah.
see that video?
No.
It's like where they got the PlayStation intro sound from is from a piano dropping out of like a third story. And they
No
took the audio
way.
from that to make the like whatever that sound was in the beginning. Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
So, a bunch of people are talking about like getting away from minimalist logos,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I don't see. They didn't like it. I don't see it as not being a minimalist logo.
That is more complicated.
Yeah.
In
See,
theory.
but the new one, the quote unquote new one to me reminds me of what I grew up with in Xbox.
Yeah,
Well,
this
it
one-
looks like the button.
Yeah.
With
It
that
looks
one right
exactly
X
like the
on it,
button.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. That reminds
Yeah.
me of the original Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I kind of like. They've taken their two old logos and kind of married them.
combined
Merged them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
it's
I
fun.
think it's freaking sweet. I'm not an Xbox guy anymore. I'm
See
strictly PC,
the
but-
white reminds me of Xbox 360.
Yeah.
When I see like a white logo and the white X, that reminds me of the first 360 that came out.
Yeah.
Everything else, the black and green, that's Xbox in my head.
Yeah, that right there it's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the article that we
Joe.
read and the like they're trying to change the Xbox logo and all that stuff, I still don't think that what she's even talking about is even in control of Xbox. Everything hinges on the developers of the video games. That
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it would have to, if she's
Not
the
if the funding
CEO of
comes from
Xbox.
Microsoft.
If
I
she's the
think that
CEO of Xbox, she can
Yeah.
tell the other department heads like Double Fine, 343. She could say, "Hey, we will give each and every studio an extra 2 years of development time to get things right." She could say that. Is she going to? Probably not. But she has that power, and that's the kind of thing she can do. But so only time will tell.
That, and if Xbox is gonna back a game, like,
Mhm.
hey, like we'll back this, we'll financially support X amount for this video game under these
So that's what I want to
stipulations.
ask you.
All of the
And-
companies are run by suits, though.
Mhm.
So that's what I wanted to ask you guys, and this is more probably a behind the scenes, like I guess like video game creation is like, so like you have Xbox, which is basically Microsoft, and then you have PlayStation, which is Sony. So like when a game developer, like let's take, I don't know, DICE, right? Big AAA company.
Yep.
When they're developing Battlefield, is some of that money that they're utilizing to pay their employees to build it coming from Microsoft or Sony or whatever, or
That's a
are
good
they
question.
on their own and they
That's a good-
develop the game and
And
Make
then
it-
Sony, Microsoft pay them for their to put it on their
So for
platform.
DICE, it's EA is their publisher.
yeah,
EA determines what platforms that game gets released on.
Yeah.
Then they will front them the money, and then they will get all that money back plus a percentage. And then also, what's really scary and what happened to BioWare got forced to make Mass Effect Andromeda once it sold
Mass
like
Effect
shit.
was fucking awesome.
I know.
though,
I'm
the
playing
early
through it right
ones.
now.
Yeah.
That's what those two things back there are. But once
I was
that
wondering.
sold
I thought
terribly,
I saw that.
yeah, once those sold terribly, they got merged into other studios. And that's the danger of getting a publisher. It's very beneficial, but very dangerous.
Talk about a storyline in those games. I'm surprised that hasn't gotten brought up with them sitting on your shelf over there
Yeah,
because
yeah.
those storylines for those games were
Hmm.
top notch.
well, and what was great is that I think that was I think Mass Effect was a really good like when you use the term immersive, where you could make decisions and like those
yeah, it's
decisions
decision. Yeah,
affected the
your
story and,
end
like,
game just based was based on
exactly
your decisions.
I
Yeah.
think that was one of those the better versions of that.
Yeah, it was a great example of that. We don't get those games anymore. We don't get a Fable.
No.
We don't get Mass Effect.
No.
We don't get Knights of the Old Republic 1 or 2. You don't get those storytelling elements. The last games that really do that were all the Telltale ones, and then they just went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we've reached
And
we're at our marker.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're kicking on 2 hours.
That's so
Okay.
cool. Well, we didn't even get to play games because we were.
Yeah, because there's
The
this
conversation
such
was
a
so good.
conversation, man. That
Dude,
Yeah,
come
sorry
on.
to chat.
It's been great.
No,
it's-
We appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
no,
you.
I appreciate you guys
Thanks for
having
coming
me.
on, man.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
case
come
you guys
on.
need any questions for me on content creation side or anything like that, just message me on Discord.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
probably will.
Yeah,
do.
dude, we'll have you back on again. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
great to have that other perspective too. For someone who
Yeah.
does game reviews of games, like you said, like you play shitty games because it's all part of it.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
part of it.
awesome.
I
that
just
you
play
have-
shitty games. That's all I do, guys.
No,
It's great to have that.
just I'm going to put one piece of advice out there to all four of you and to all the
Yeah.
listeners: be very wary of games that are being surprisingly hyped by all the content creators. Through this game review journey, I've discovered a website called lurkit.gg. It is a website for content creators to go to get keys for games to make content on. So if you're wondering why some games are exploding for some reason, that's probably why.
Free
that's
keys.
interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you have to have like Twitch, you have to link your YouTube and all that, and then you have to show
Yeah.
like what content you've made from it. Just
Ah.
something to be aware of.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Carmelo, plug your stuff. Let everybody know where.
Yeah. So on YouTube, Carmelo P. It's either Carmelo P or Carmel 0P, however it is in YouTube. You'll notice the owl logo with OP. I do video game reviews of what I believe is interesting. There won't be a review out in a hot minute. I'm working on my October reviews because I take a break in October. Other than that, Twitch, Carmelo P Shorts, Carmelo P Clips, TikTok, Carmelo P. Just pretty much Carmelo P. Anywhere you'll either find the basketball player or the short, fat, white dude who can't play basketball. One of the two. So yeah, but thank you guys for having me on.
Dude, that's
Enjoy
awesome.
all the stuff.
Man, thank you so much.
We didn't know about your career before too, and it's funny when you meet people and you kind of find people that, well, I mean, counterculture. It's for veterans, first responders, blue collar Americans. It's fucking. It's really cool. And Jay. Obviously. And
the guy across
I have a question for you though before we go too. Where did you find counterculture from?
I was bored at work. I just wanted something to listen to, and I stumbled upon the Rob O'Neill kind of story like that. And then I was like, okay, all right, sure. These are all claims. I was pretty skeptical. Then Tim Kennedy, then John McPhee. I listened to all those before they became paywalled. I was like, okay, I like Brent a lot. I still try to keep up with him a little bit. But I like Mike and I like Tyler on there. I really like the inside view of policing. Because I think policing's such a hard fucking job. I could not imagine doing it. That is one I would never do. I'd rather wipe ass every day of some 80-year-old with diarrhea. I'd rather do that than pull somebody over. Fuck a bunch of that.
It's quite the rush.
Yeah, and it's just anyway,
Hey, you ever tried wiping an ass chode? No.
Yeah. You don't know what kind of a rush you get from that, baby.
Once you've been shit on, it's over.
I have 3 kids. So yes.
Yeah, that's your blood though, bro.
It's not the same, bro.
You're not
kids,
wiping
you love
some
them.
old man's ass.
You love your kids, yeah.
Getting
Wait
a shower
until
by a nurse later.
Yeah, you push him over and he just farts, and you're like, dude,
I couldn't do it.
Fuck?
Yeah, and then you catch a little debris on the way out.
That's why Foo's still wearing his scrub cap because he's got smell on there and he likes to reminisce. So
that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carmelo, you say you couldn't do the cop stuff. I couldn't do the nursing shit.
Bro, I'm not going to die on the job though. That's not going to.
You know what's cool though?
Risk.
I'd rather die than get covered in shit, really,
bro.
I guess the thing about it too is that in law enforcement, you can bounce around to different types of things to do in law enforcement. In nursing, you can do the same thing. That's a great thing about it is if I'm tired of working with cardiac patients, I could go work. What?
Nothing.
What'd you say? I could go work in pediatrics. I could go to the cath lab. I could go to the OR.
Nobody's
there's a bunch of stuff that you can do.
Nobody's going to peds, bro. Nobody's going to fucking peds.
But you might have to. If you.
No, I haven't.
Dude, we had to do it during COVID. Every time we transported illegals, we had to go in there with this basically hazmat chlorine solution and spray out the back of the.
Did you guys?
I was like, dude, I'm gonna get cancer.
Did you guys get the UV machine? Because
we have it at the hospital. We didn't use it.
That was so fucking stupid. We got one and we lost it. Typical Army hospital stuff.
Get a room, guys.
Anyway, I'm gonna hop out here, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. If you want to have me on another
one,
thank you.
We'll talk soon.
See you, man.
Thank you very much.
Before we close
that guy's
out,
fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that guy's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was a good guest. Honestly, he had a lot of insight on a lot of shit.
Yeah, we'll have to make that a regular thing for sure.
You know what he makes you think of?
Well, it's. I mean,
Who's in love? He's like, you know the thing.
He's our Joanna. He's our JoJo.
Has he gone now? You're like this.
No, shut up. I'm clipping you about that fucking whatever that fucking duck face is you made. Looking like Tyler over there sucking on a straw.
Get over.
We gotta hit Crave.
Yeah, we should. All right. All right. Go to trycrave.com. utilize the promo code CC15. We all know that you need creatine. Creatine helps you get bigger, stronger, and faster. It puts, I think it's 30% more. You get 30% more size in your muscle. It helps you retain water. Helps you recover faster from your workouts. But also something that I don't think people tell others about creatine is that there is a loading phase. So like for you to start seeing those effects, depending on how much you're taking per day, that's going to depend on how fast you see the effects. So like if you start taking, I think it's 20 milligrams a day for a week, you'll start to see those effects, as opposed to taking 5 milligrams a day for like 3 or 4 weeks. That's when you're going to start seeing those
you'll
effects.
get that weight gain a little bit later on.
Yeah.
You'll start filling up with more water. Yep.
So there is a loading phase. I just want everybody to know. So like you're not going to take a creatine gummy and be fucking jacked.
Top of the
all
bottom
right?
line is everything takes work. There is no quick fix to fucking anything. So
Yeah,
give it time,
dude.
put in the work for it, and you'll get there.
It should,
And
dude,
whenever you
know
want to
what's
put in
funny?
that work, when you want to put that work in, go to Try Crave and use CC15.
Yeah,
Yes,
it'll
sir.
know that the Counterculture Network sent you.
then
And
when
go,
do
if
to
you
the
are
gym-
new and you're not part of the Counterculture Network, go check out the Counterculture Network. There are a bunch of other podcasts on there that go over all types of things. CC Sports. We have 2 guys that talk about like the hot topic in cop world. Unfiltered, Unfazed for all the girlies out there.
Open mic.
What am I missing now? I'm not gonna plug all of them, but go check them out. It really helps.
Yeah,
them
they're
work
in the
out.
intro. In the intro,
G Money
Check 'em out,
podcast.
take a
as well, we can't
screenshot.
forget that. Shout out G Money.
G Money's in here.
G Money.
Oh
Nick,
yeah.
Really
No,
love,
no.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
We're,
dude,
a
his
bunch,
episode-
we're a bunch of PA boys.
before I
Well, me
get,
and
back,
him.
we're gonna end it before we're gonna go on another tangent. So
I love
Yeah.
these tangents. It's what. Yeah.
we're 2
This is
minutes.
the thing
2
about
hours
talking
and
about
10
Mike
minutes
and
to
in.
Tyler.
end it.
If the,
There's
if the,
no
if the
time
conversations are flowing, just let it keep going. You know
Yeah,
what
2
I'm
hours
saying?
and 10 minutes in.
All right, guys, we're gonna take it out. Love you all. Like I said, go check out the Counterculture Network. It helps all of them out. Helps them pay the bills.
Buy the merch.
Deuces.
Bye.
You are watching the Counterculture Gaming Studio, a studio forged by military, law enforcement, first responders, and blue-collar workers, bringing you the best entertainment in the gaming industry.